Rockstar drinks or something.
He's drinking his foot water to stay up.
100% has to be full water.
It's definitely foot water. That's a secret formula.
How do you
Great.
keep Mars fueled? You just gotta feed him his own feet.
That's disgusting. Just sucking on his toes in the morning.
Oh my
Gotta
god.
stay fueled.
hmm When he has a wet dream, he goes grabs that up and then drinks it.
Oh, but that's sick.
Oh, you know that's not happening yet. He's only 6. My bad. He's only 6.
5.
That doesn't happen yet.
Oh my god, bro. What in the world? Yo, Bobby, you're literally a noisemaker. Like, you're the noise machine. You know that? You're a soundboard. You're a player's
My
choice
bad.
soundboard.
JD, I'm new to the internet, bro. My bad.
Clearly, bro.
I was
trying to
like
get it
that too,
together.
Bobby. I was like that a lot too, man. Don't sweat it, bro.
Yeah, Bobby needs to
But
find the
since-
mute button on his.
No, I need to find the light the beam button.
Oh, that's what like the beam memes, like the video.
No, light the beam. That's when in Sacramento we got the big laser on top of the Golden One Center. So every time we win, we light the beam, and you can actually
Oh.
see that. You can actually see that purple laser from space.
Wow. I never cared about the Kings enough to know that.
Well, we didn't start doing that till this year.
Yeah.
Oh, this year? Oh, yeah. I still don't care about the Kings like that.
I feel like light the beam should also mean like the video. So like the video.
Like the video.
Light the beam.
Hey, yeah, that was a good game last night. This is our second close game with the Jazz, but I think we took their heart this time. I think they're done.
Dang. Was last night where Lauri Markkanen almost hit that game winner?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
No, he
The-
hit it.
the
It was
game-
just-
Well, yeah, he hit it, but it was after.
The game, actually, the game before he had a chance to hit a game winner. He just airballed it. But like back in the day though, since it's the Kings, the refs would actually gave that to Lauri. They'd have been like, oh no, it was on time.
Because it's against the Kings.
Yeah, but
Is that why y'all lost so many games?
I don't know this back. No, I'm talking about back in the day when we were real good.
Oh, okay.
The
know,
Kings
like-
have never
like-
been cheated out. I hate that myth. Kings just
Doing-
not good enough.
Oh, okay.
It's factually proven, Mars. It's on record, but we don't got to talk about it.
Maybe that's why Kobe Bryant's number 11.
I don't got Kobe number 11. That's not me.
I just want to throw that in there. Tune in to Open Gym, bro. We've been doing this war on old media, bro. We just had an amazing show last night. Mars pulled a double, and he's back here live and ready. So shout out to Mars. War on old media is a success. We're going to keep it going, bro. Get ready for next Friday. War on old media, bro. It's been a good run for the last 2 shows, right, Mars? I think we've accomplished a lot.
Yeah, I think it's been very successful the last 2 shows. I guess a lot of people also seem to despise old heads, and they're happy that we're giving them the platform to say what they have to say.
Despise old heads.
Hey,
Correcting
JD, why
false
do you-
narratives is good. It's a good thing that we're doing.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that so many youngsters despise old heads? And why am I at 32 getting placed in the old head category?
because on the internet, once you hit 30, you're officially an internet boomer. So you and I are
Okay.
boomers, and these are the children who are running around recklessly on the internet, spreading misinfo, getting the
I don't think it's
youngsters to-
misinformation. I'm not
getting
even
the
going to hold
youngsters
you.
on their back. It's crazy. How long is this war gonna last,
I don't know. Whenever I feel like ending it, I mean, there's just too many narratives to fix. So, the next narrative we'll fix, we'll correct, and then we'll just go from there, bro.
Do you have this written out? Do you have
Uh,
like all the things that you want to?
There's a lot to get into. I'm not gonna lie, but there's actually new things to fix too. A lot of people talking about the pace of play today, and then the revolution of 3-point shooting. Yeah, this era is gonna have to start getting taxed soon too, because the pace is getting high, and the 3-point shooting is getting high as well, and it's like the offensive numbers is crazy. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're gonna for sure get into all that. I'm so mad at myself for not bookmarking this tweet, but because you brought up pace of play, I wanted to touch on this.
See, and then we still are. So maybe we have more work to do because we still have some, people in the chat that really don't know what they're talking about, Mars. So maybe this should go on longer than expected. Though we were making good strides, but it seems as if we need to fix some more people out there. So we're
The
not the problem. You are. Just remember that.
So
I'm
We're
I'm
not
good.
the problem.
maybe
You are.
maybe chat can help me out and find this for me and then send it to me on like Discord or like DM me on Twitter or something. But I think I did see it on Twitter, and it's talking about pace of play and how pace of play actually hasn't really increased over X amount of years. Like the average scoring average team score per night or something is like 99. It's been there for a long I don't remember. But hopefully that's enough information to get somebody in the chat to send me what I need so that I can touch on that. But before we get to all that stuff, I want to mention we modified the YouTube memberships again, adding a exclusive priority access private chat private Discord channel for All-Star members. So that will get you into a private channel in our Discord. If you're an All-Star member, you need to link your YouTube to your Discord. Jesus Christ, Bobby, find that mute button, Mike G.
I tried, JD. I was too slow.
No man.
Yo, it's
That's
like this is players' choice, bro. It's like people talk about. I'm gonna get derailed here, but people talk about like the podcasting etiquette. Like, oh, don't make noises into the mic. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's like we break all those rules, and it's like this is just what players' choice is, and I feel like that is kind of our. It's like why people love us. Is because we're not super buttoned up, suit and tie. It's like we're just here enjoying
It's
ourselves,
cool.
man.
Like we coolin', bro. We coolin'.
Sorry
good time.
for your ears, but like this is what you have to deal with when you're on Players Choice. Anyway, Discord connect if you are a member or you become an All-Star member. Connect your YouTube account to your Discord. It'll get you access to that private channel, and then we're gonna figure out different ways to like things to do for those All-Star members. So like first and foremost, you're gonna start getting priority access to Open Gym. You'll get those links before it goes out to the public. However many minutes that is, like 5-10 minutes. Let you guys come in first. You just get front row. You get to cut the line, essentially. And then it'll get sent out to everyone. In the future, when we release new merch, it might be discount codes, promo codes, whatever it is. So there you have it. That's the All-Star membership on the YouTube channel, as well as, I mentioned this last show, but now for the podcast audio listeners, if you want to support the show, you now have the ability to do so in the description. There's a support the show link. You can go follow that. Again, this is a free show. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, by all means. All right. Now I got all the boring stuff out of the way. Should we talk about Skip and Shannon? This drama that's
Jesus
going on?
Christ. My bad. But yeah, Skip and Shannon, they're done, bro. They're done. I'm sorry. You don't have to beat around the bush, honestly. Any chance of them trying to fix their relationship after the Tom Brady thing that Skip low blowed Shannon Sharpe for? If there was any chance that their relationship was going to be repaired after that, Skip fucked it up with the tweet. And Skip messed it up with the tweet. Oh, dang, I cursed.
No,
Sorry.
you're chilling.
He messed it up with the tweet with the Hamler thing, and I do think that Skip's words could be misunderstood. But when you got a guy like Skip Bayless, where he has a track record of just being disrespectful to people, has a track record of making fun of people and not being in tune with people's feelings, I mean, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt with a lot of people for that. And especially with Shannon, bro. I mean, Shannon, him being a football player, him seeing that tweet the way he did, bro, it really struck a chord in him, especially when, I mean, shout out to Hamler, bro. You want prayers up to him, bro. You never want to see nobody going through anything like that, bro, especially in the football field, bro. It's very sad, and something that really it was close to Shannon Sharpe, especially with his brother leaving the game at the age of 29 because of his injuries, So this is something that's very personal to Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe this morning said, he just put out there like, yo, like, Skip didn't put down the tweet yet, or that he should put down the tweet, and then Skip goes like, "No, I'm not gonna take it down." Said, "I'm not gonna take it down at all." And right there, I mean, that right there, the moment when Skip said that, in my personal opinion, the relationship with Skip and Shannon is done. It's done, bro. Because Shannon just went straight up. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk anymore. You got it, Skip. You got it, bro.
Bro,
I mean,
so
the tweet was taken out of context, though. I don't think he meant it in that way. I think people were just kind of emotional from what they saw on the football field. And Skip, like you said, he's not really in touch with people's emotions. Skip is no doubt he's a jerk. You know what I'm saying? And he's insensitive. So it just wasn't the time to. He maybe shouldn't have said anything. But I don't think he meant that in the tweet the way people read it. I think, like I said, people were just kind of in their feelings still. And the whole thing about him calling him jealous of Tom Brady, he's all like, I don't. That wasn't that serious, bro. I was like, that was. People really don't like Skip for good reason, but I mean, we're over here debating about a show. We're talking about Tom Brady, Skip. Shannon really got in his feelings over that. Like Shannon knows he's an all-time great. He knows he's one of the top 3 tight ends of all time. We all know that, but I mean, I think this is a real touchy, sensitive subject. But honestly, I'm gonna go the other way with that, Dub. I think they'll be okay. I don't think it's gonna end the show.
I don't.
Especially if Demar's, especially if he has a full recovery and he's okay. I don't
It's not
think the
about that
show will stop.
anymore. It's not about that anymore. It's just the lack of. Listen, that Shannon felt some type of way with the whole Tom Brady thing. He did feel some type of way about that. Now this thing with Hamlin, I mean, it's the final straw for him, bro. It's the final straw. Like
Yeah.
I told you last night, bro. Me talking to you about Brady, bro, it's like me basically like I'm a guy who didn't even play basketball at a high level or football at a high level. Me coming at you for hating on or talking down on Chris Paul this season just because you're jealous of where he's at because you weren't
Mhm.
good enough or you didn't have the health long enough to sustain that level of play all the way to Chris Paul's age, you know? Like that's
Yeah,
some
but that
hating
would that
stuff.
wouldn't that wouldn't make me leave the show. I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, fuck you, Dub. But that's it.
Yeah, it'll be fuck you, dub. But then a few weeks later, what do? I do something where think about like Shannon's brother like got retired off of some stuff
Yeah,
like this, bro. Like his
that's
brother.
true. That's a fact. That's a
So
fact.
this is something that's really personal with Shannon Sharpe. So now you don't have the state like me, bro. If I don't have the state of mind that you know what this is something that you feel close to because this is something that happened to your family. This is something that your family could relate to. So I
Yeah,
don't have the state of mind to just be like, you know what, let me chill out, especially with Shannon, who's been my guy for the last 6, 7 years now. Like
yeah,
I'm not I'm and to
yeah,
sit here and just say nobody up here had a problem with the tweet and then just sit here and say I'm not gonna take down the tweet. Like, bro, that's
yeah,
that's that's me dismissing the way you feel completely, bro, and it's messed
yeah.
up
No,
in
you
my
you're
opinion.
right. You're right. It's extremely insensitive. I will say this though. Um, if 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 me and Mars can continue to do shows with Ticket, Shannon can continue to do shows with Skip.
I feel you on that. I just don't know. I don't know. Though you know how this cancel thing happens, so I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. But I don't think Shannon cares. And Ticket brought up a good point. Like last night, I mean, Shannon's been defending Skip for years now. People
Mm.
saying that he really shouldn't be doing this with Skip. He's been like, nah, he's my guy. He's been defending him. And for the last month, what has Skip done in return for Shannon?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't. I hope. I just don't want. I just don't want it to end like bad. I hope everything is good. Especially, most importantly, I hope the Moore's health is fine. I hope it recovers. You know what I'm saying. Other than
What
that.
what I know for a fact, what I won't know for a fact is going to happen is that their relationship is never going to be the same. That's the only thing I know for a fact. So I don't know if Shen's gonna leave for a fact. I don't know if Skip's gonna be fired for a fact. I don't know that. The only thing I know for 100% fact, their relationship is never going to be the same. Never.
Yeah.
Fee Music sent a super chat, said Skip disrespected Shannon too many times. Skip wouldn't disrespect him in a Walmart parking lot because he knows what would happen.
It's,
That's a
that's
fact. Also, I think a lot of it's for the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Like, like not. I mean, not. I didn't see. I didn't know anything about the situation with Dak Prescott and his brother. You know, I didn't. I was completely oblivious to that. You know, like that's there's no explanation for that. You know, you can't come back for saying things like that. You know, and once again, I'm not trying to cape for Skip, but I do think a lot of it's just entertainment value. I do think a lot of it's for the cameras. Like I can't anything I see on TV, like I can't just. You gotta take it with a handful
But
of
we
salt.
do
You know?
stuff. We do stuff for the cameras too, though. But we know which lines to cross and which lines not to cross. You know, like we know this with each other, right? We yell at each other. We get on each other. You've gotten on me before. I've gotten on you. But we just never crossed a crazy ass line
Yeah.
that just we knew that we would take offense to. Except for me, only one person I crossed the line with. I don't care though.
Oh no, no.
All right,
Hey,
let's
speaking
move on.
speaking of that, Dub, are y'all gonna get on there? Are y'all gonna do that? Is it gonna be the Dub and Mars versus Fluent and Chill with Haley moderating? What's up with that
2v2.
on Thursday?
On Thursday, I ain't going on his show. We'll do a whole little event. No, I have one show. I have one show with him per week. That's one show too many, bro. So I'm not doing.
All
Unless it's the
right,
panel, I'm
we're
not doing no
moving
Fluent and Chill,
on.
bro.
All right,
I'll do the 2v2 though. I will, just not on that show. He
I wanna
don't get
talk-
the viewers. He doesn't get the viewers. I'm not gonna give him the viewers.
Oh my god, I want to talk about the scoring outputs this season because it's just this last week has been nuts. You had Donovan Mitchell 71, incredible. Klay Thompson putting up 54, crazy. Joel Embiid 42, Braun 43, DeMar DeRozan 44, Luka's 60. Yes, last night Giannis is 55. That's a career high for him. I saw on it might have been on NBA.com this morning that 88 players this season have had 40-point games. 88. It's insane. That's almost a quarter of the league.
But it's happened 88 times, not 88 different players, right?
88 players have had 40-point games.
That's nuts. That's not possible.
Unless I read that wrong, it said 88
That's
players,
crazy.
not 88 instances.
88 players
So-
at 40 this season?
That's what the thing said, and this was
Yo,
on NBA.com.
chat, double check this.
Bro, I will
I
go
think
double
they
check
got
this.
it wrong, JD.
Please.
I
I
will
don't
go
think you're
check
reading
this.
it wrong, JD. I think they just worded it wrong. That's not possible.
88? That's
There have
crazy.
been 88 players with 40-plus points games so far this season. This is on their front page, NBA.com's front page.
There's no
Damn.
way.
I
There's
mean,
no way.
NBA.com's they're liars.
Nah, but
They're
if
lying.
that's true, regardless of if that's true or not, I do want to talk this point because people talk about me with the pace of play in the 70s and like air taxing because not air taxing, but just having an understanding with that. For this year and the years before, like maybe 1 or 2 years before, like I think we're gonna have to start taxing these guys because they're playing at they're starting to start playing at a extremely high pace. On top of playing at a high pace, they're taking way more threes than usual. So we just can't sit here and be like, oh, we see all these 30-point per game scores, so all of these guys is just so talented, way more talented than everybody else, because that's not true. They're just taking more threes at a high pace, which is resulting to that. So we need to start air taxing for these guys coming up soon too, in my opinion.
What type of air tax would that be, Dub? How would you calculate that?
I don't know how to fucking calculate it yet, bro. I mean, this is something new that's happening, so I have to figure it out. But we're always gonna keep that in mind. I just don't want to go with the point you got so many guys having 70, so many guys having 60, so many guys having 30 plus in the league. This is just the greatest era of basketball ever, and I'm like, it's not really like that. You just gotta include pace and then understand how many threes that they're taking. I just don't want those narratives being spewed out with no context.
Yo, so I'm looking it up right now. Best games 2022-23, and there are 88 players. There are 88 players who put up 40 points, I think.
88
My bad.
players?
Who's
I'll
the
bet
most
NBA.com.
random player who's probably put up 40 this season?
You know what? I think they did misinterpret the data. I think it's just 88 instances. Damn you,
88
NBA.com.
instances.
It
Yeah,
can't
it
be
had to
88.
It's 88
Yeah.
instances. It's 88 instances. You know
80
what?
instances, I
No,
believe.
I take my apology back. NBA.com.
NBA.com writers, shame on you.
Jay,
88
that's
instances.
no, Jay. Don't you do that.
Bro,
Listen,
I had to fact
Call
check
them out.
them. I just
Call them out
assumed,
on
hey,
it.
you guys know what you're doing.
No. It was a context bend that they used, and they used because by technicality, it's still true. It's just not separate
No, it's
players.
not true.
No, it's not. Not even
It's
on
not true at all.
technicality.
Any way you
What was the
spin it,
title?
does.
What was the title?
Players?
88 players.
Bro, this is
The-
how it reads. Give me a second. This is
Nah,
exactly
never mind.
word for word how it reads on the front page. There have been 88 players with 40-plus points games so far this season.
So they could be it could be a context bend, right? Of
No,
them
that is-
using the players
that's just-
multiple times.
They just
Dub,
don't
you know all about
understand
context.
English.
Man. I thought
No,
you wanted
Jay
to
knows
make
about
context
context.
matter. I thought you wanted to make context matter
Oh,
again.
context
Now,
bend
the reason
is-
I'm pointing at Jay, because you who titles these videos? You. So you the context bender yourself, and you getting on them? Come on, man.
All right.
You the title bender.
Like I said, they're liars.
You're the title
whoever-
bender for real.
See, they're trying. I'm telling you, they're just trying to push that narrative of just like how you said. You just said, Dub. They want it to seem like this is just the best era of scoring when nobody's playing defense. This is a bogus era of basketball.
They play defense. It's
See,
just the
that's
rules.
I
The
think
rules
that's
is just
the
bogus era of
misnomer. I
basketball.
think that's the misnomer is that they're not playing defense. If anything, I think that this is probably the best era of defense because everyone is so much more athletic, the ability to keep up with players. But on the flip side, the offensive ability that the players have in the NBA today is so great that it doesn't matter how good of a individual defender you are. This is why team defenses and defensive schemes are so important because it doesn't matter if you have the best defensive player in the NBA. That's not going to be the catalyst of, winning a champ, and maybe, but you need guys who can run it up also. And I think that they're so good at scoring. I don't think that it's easier to score by any means. I think they've just gotten so good at it.
They don't. They just like I was saying last night on Dub and Mars show. They will.
Oh, wow.
They don't value defense. They're just like, there's no point in me playing defense because I'm not gonna get any credit for it. I'm not gonna be on social media for it. I'm not gonna get any pictures with the baddies on the sidelines for it. I'm not gonna play defense.
That's true,
There's no point in playing defense because they're like, I'm just gonna outscore you. If y'all score 130, we're gonna score 150. We're just gonna try to score. We're not.
That's not true.
The defense is fake. It's gimmicks. So y'all remember the other season when they were talking about we're actually gonna start playing defense behind James Harden because all he does is step back. Like, what type of nonsense is that? Bro,
It worked.
Mars, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not doing this, Mars.
You can't be mad. You can't be mad.
They tried something new and it worked.
It worked. Mars, that's what I'm saying.
Look how James Harden was playing.
Look at it. All right, if it worked, then it was a mental thing, bro. There's not possible. You have to stay in between your man and the basket. That's defense 101. You cannot stand in between the man and his basket.
And they implemented that idea. They played on James Harden's right side because they knew he wanted to step back, go into that side.
Standing behind
and they wanted to funnel him towards Rudy Gobert in the paint. And that's what they did. So they played on his step back, and Rudy Gobert was going to deny him floaters, and they wanted him to take mid-range shots. That's what they tried. And if you want to look at like the first 2 games they tried it, it worked pretty well. And then James Harden figured it out, and it stopped working. But for like 2 games, it was pretty good. I can't get mad at a team for trying something new. Like, I'm not gonna say they played defense; it just wasn't orthodox. But
that's not trying something new. That's just trying some gimmick shit for
it worked. It worked for a couple games.
They're just doing that just so ESPN can
Bobby, let's not act as let's not act as there's no defenders in the league, bro. There's actually a lot of defenders.
Louis, I'll definitely be hacking, Louis. I'm definitely hacking.
Bobby, let's not act as there's no defenders in the league, bro. There's a lot of defenders.
There are some defenders in the league. So obviously, I'm not talking about everybody individually. I'm not talking about Mikal Bridges. I'm not talking about Davion. I'm not talking about Marcus Smart. That's where the left stops. Oh, Drew Holiday, my bad.
I mean,
Mikal Bridges?
the players who only
I said
play
Mikal Bridges
defense,
first.
they get no respect. Like Rudy Gobert doesn't get respect from the majority of NBA
Nah,
fans,
Rudy
and
Gobert's
he
fine.
and he
But-
only plays defense. Draymond Green is similar. He brings all his value on defense. He doesn't get much respect. So I
Yes,
mean,
he does. Draymond Green?
Draymond Green is one of the most hated players in the NBA
By the NBA players or by the media?
by the people who talk about basketball,
I think Rudy
the
Gobert.
community of
I
basketball.
think Rudy gets a ton of love. Draymond Green, I think
Where are you looking?
Mars, don't do this shit. Y'all be praising Rudy Gobert crazy. I find myself.
Yeah, us stat nerds
I-
praise Rudy Gobert, but the random
Maybe I'll be around
the
stat
random
nerds way too
yeah,
much.
the random
Alright,
NBA
maybe
fans. They
okay,
don't.
maybe
Like,
I'll be around
Draymond
stat
Green
nerds
is
too much.
Draymond Green is also hated by the majority
Be-
of NBA fans.
Before we get too far away
Oh.
from this, because Dub, you were talking about pace, and shout out to Zay in the clutch. He sent me the tweet that I had glanced over this morning. So this is from Rob Perez. He has 3 bullet points on here, and then I'm gonna pull up on StatMuse. I have through the eras the pace of play. So he has pace at 99.3, has remained stagnant. Free throw attempts are up a bit, but relatively stable. And then ORTG, I think that's offensive rating, yeah? Offensive rating efficiency is up 3 full points since 2020. And then pulling up the average league pace per decade. So in the 70s, 106, 80s, 101, 90s, 93, 2000s, 91, and then it starts back on the upswing, 2010s, 94, and 2020s, 99. So the point of the pace of play of like it's just rapidly increasing, or whatever your point was about pace of play, I think it's kind of what do you put it? They're scoring differently, but they're not scoring more, if that makes sense. So yeah, 3-pointers might be up, like the amount of 3-pointers being put up and being made might be up, but overall, average wise, the scores aren't super inflated. There's
So
those one-offs for sure.
So the pace right now, right? The pace right now is being played at 99.4. And like in the 80s and 90s, like the 80s it was kind of high in the beginning, but then it started slowing down, especially in the 90s. But like in the late 80s it was like at 199 as well. And then in the 70s it was at 103, 105, 106, 105. So when I talk about pace and when I look at the older generation of like the 70s, like that's why I say like the reason why you see so many scoring averages like Kareem is because they were playing at a crazy pace, especially in the 50s and 60s. And the 80s they were playing fast too, and it's actually closer to today's standards. The point I'm making is that with the evolution of the 3-ball, the scoring averages of the players is resembling that of the players from the 70s, because on top of playing at a high pace, they're shooting the 3-ball way more than usual.
So your arguments for individual players, not necessarily like for
not
everyone.
The league. Not the league. I mean,
Teams are scoring more now than like the last like 30 years ever as well. Because when we talk about the pace going up, because respectfully, most people who talk on the internet about basketball have only been watching basketball from like the 80s onwards. We don't have many people who were watching the 60s and 70s when the pace was comparable. So when we talk about the paces like at crazy highs, is compared to the 90s and the 2000s where it was a lot lower. So that's where you can see the biggest difference. If you want to compare this to the 70s and say it's not that crazy, then yeah. But the reason why people talk about the pace now is because we remember 10 years ago. Well, I don't, but most people remember 10 years ago when the pace was like, there was like maybe like 10 less possessions a game just 10 years ago. That's what it's being compared to.
Oh, well, if it's being compared to that, then yeah, it's been wild. Like the change in pace from 10 years ago, Mars, 2013 it was at 92. Now it's at 99. So like you can't compare that. Like you just can't, especially with the 3-ball being so prevalent in today. Like you can't compare the scoring averages and the scoring numbers from guys from 10 years ago to today. It's insane.
Aramis Jones.
He's back again. Jesus Christ. This guy needs an awards.
Back-to-back
awards.
super chats totaling 70. This is nuts. Shout out to My bad, bro. I'm calling you Ramus Jones.
Aramis.
Aramis. Even when you watch a collage of people's highlights, you don't see anything about defense. High school mixtapes are nothing about defense except for nice blocks. Defense is at an all-time low because effort and nobody wants to be posterized. He continues on with, look at defense. People will put in minimal perimeter effort, especially if they have a solid defensive big. Unless you're a Drew Holiday and Marcus Smart, defense is at an all-time low due simply to it's not as appreciated.
Thank you, AJ.
I agree with parts and disagree with others, but the premise is there.
I think in terms of like, there's no glory in being the like a defensive player for sure, to Bobby's point. But I still think that defense is up. Like I don't. And
I think defense is at an all-time. I think people are saying defense is at an all-time low, mainly because people are scoring so much, and that's just something I just don't agree with. I just think that number one, the talent's great. Number two, they're pushing the pace. Number three, they're shooting the three ball more, so the scoring average is going to go up. I think there's still a lot of capable defenders in the league right now that get love, like Bridges, Andrew Wiggins. I think Green gets some love too. Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis. There's a lot of people that play defense that gets love. Herb Jones, like Davion Mitchell.
I watched an insane
Evan Mobley
defensive possession by Davion Mitchell this morning.
Evan Mobley gets love. So it's just now that just people are just scoring way too much because, like I said, the three ball and the pace. So we just can't sit here and say it doesn't get praised or anything like that, because a lot of people who are defensive specialists do get praised for that.
So
I think also can we agree that it's not necessarily a skill thing as much as it's a capitalism thing. It's a financial thing. People, I believe the powers that be in the NBA have changed rules and made it the way that you just can't, like, you know, they make it harder to play defense because they know that offense sells tickets. They don't really want you to slow the game down and play the way that I was taught to play. You know, where we're slowing it down, we're dropping into the big, we're cutting off of that, we're slowing the game down, we're playing defense because they know that they can sell more tickets with the highlights on fast breaks, playing that run and gun style of coming down shooting threes. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it would be naive of us to not say that. It's quite obvious that it's a money thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be a money thing for sure.
Someone's on record saying that, like that. I think we know that offense definitely sells tickets, into like putting up these insane numbers and whatnot it's more fun to watch, and there's storylines that you can produce behind it. So Bobby, you're right. Sorry, go ahead, Dub.
I agree with Ramis though. People are not trying to get posterized, so I do agree with that. People do not try to get posterized, but yeah, Bobby, I agree.
Right.
I agree. Another point that I think people just need to acknowledge, like, there's a lot of bucket getters in the league right now, bro.
Always been a lot of bucket getters.
all-time
Nothing new, though.
Bro, this is the best.
Wild.
Bro, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, because there are way more players in the NBA today that are capable, in comparison to past decades, they're capable of putting the ball in the basket at an insane clip. There's way more better scorers
Donovan Mitchell,
today
Jaylen Brown. You got Jaylen Brown
in the 90s, the 80s, the 60s.
You got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the same team. They both can have 30 at the same time. That's wild. Trae Young, even though he's shooting bad, but Trae Young is a guy who can get buckets, bro. Stephen Curry, Jordan Poole. Look at what Jordan Poole's doing without Stephen Curry. He's getting, how much is he averaging without Stephen Curry, Mars?
29.
God damn it, 29. I didn't even know it was 29. Like, look at that, bro. You just got it's so many bucket getters right now. Tyler Hero.
Bobby, you don't think that
29 is crazy?
You don't think that all around the talent pool and offensive ability of the players in the NBA today is just significantly better than past eras?
I don't think so. I think it's a change. I think it's a change of culture, especially like in the front office and coaching and whatnot, where players have more of a leash on them. Where, you know, it's like, for instance, I believe there were point guards back in the day that could do a lot of the same things, Kyrie and Steph, you know, but the big man on that team is like, dude, what are you doing? Give me the ball. Like, what are you dribbling around shooting for? I'm right here. I'm posting up. Because that used to be a thing. If the big man's showing you his hands, he got his man on his back. If you don't dump that ball down, you're getting cussed out in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? You might have to fight him at halftime. So it's a culture thing. You know, if you ask me, I think the basketball has just changed. I don't think it's necessarily the skill set. I think it's, you know, the leash is off these guys now. It's like if you can get to it, get to it. We don't care about that passing the ball to your big man or slowing the ball down. It's like, you know, it was very. People say, of course, there's, you know, there's exceptions, but for the most part, that was the rule. If you got a competent big man on the block, you dump it down to him. We're running the offense, and now it's kind of like this is different. You know, I think I'm not taking away from these guys' skills, but I'm not taking away from the past generation skills. I think all those guys could get to it if the leash wasn't on them.
Fair point. Senior Smith. Sorry, go ahead, Mars.
How dare you?
It would have been quite a long tangent. I can get into after a super chats.
All right. Senior Smith. Today's players are just more fluent. Football breakdown. Did MJ have better D than Kobe?
Again,
MJ might be longer.
That's a crazy pause. That had to have been intentional.
How dare you, bro?
Did MJ have better D than Kobe?
I think MJ's a better defender than Kobe. But
no,
Kobe
did he have better D though?
No.
With that being said, Morris, it was a little easier for Jordan because he had Scotty with him too.
I do agree with that because Kobe like 2000, probably one of the best like guard defensive seasons individually that I can remember. Like just watching him defensively that year. Like I would put that up with a lot of Jordan seasons, but I think Jordan just sustained it for a lot longer than Kobe did defensively. But the tangent, because I think
no.
Long story short, for me, Kobe defensive, like the high level defense, kind of fell off after about 03, 04. Once Shaq left, I don't think he was playing very high level defense anymore consistently. But that's just my opinion.
He did it.
Do you think that correlates?
Right?
You think that correlates, Mars? You think that had something to do with Shaq not being there? You think it was Shaq pressed him about the D, or do you think it was just
Shaq never pressed him about the D?
Jesus. I think it comes from a lot more offensive responsibility. So it's harder to give 100% on both sides of the ball when you're the main focal point of an offense. And B, I think his athleticism started to decline, and he just wasn't as quick out on the perimeter as he used to be. So he just took a lot more plays off and started roaming more off the ball. Like those 08 finals out, he tried to stay with Ray Allen. That didn't go very well. So then he ended up just guarding guys like Rajon Rondo, who weren't much of a scoring threat because it was easier for him to roam around.
No, that's not true.
Wait,
we went through the series in Discord. We went through the series in Discord, and he was on guys like Rajon Rondo. He was on Paul Pierce in stretches, but he was not on Ray Allen.
He was not on Ray Allen. He was on Rondo because
why was he not on Ray Allen?
I'm gonna tell you because in game 2, because I think in game 1 and game 2. He was on Ray Allen and Paul Pierce majority of the time. But Rondo, I think in game 2, he was killing them because of his ability to play make. He was killing them that way. He had like 16 assists in that game. So he's like, screw that. Since Ray Allen's not really that much of a ball handler, we're gonna put Kobe on Rondo, and then
what was Kobe looking like chasing Ray Allen around screens?
What was he looking like?
What was he? How was it looking for Kobe defensively chasing Ray Allen?
He was not getting cooked.
I'm not saying how was it looking for him.
He was good. He was fine. 100%.
We can agree to disagree.
Should be.
But, we can agree to disagree. I don't want to talk about this. The tangent I wanted to go on was the rule changes in the NBA dictate a lot about the game. Like you can go back to the 60s and 70s when the pace was crazy high. And then I think in like 81, 82, that's when they implemented that zone defense rule. That's when the illegal defense became a thing. They started changing how free throws were awarded and stuff. They tried to like sort of prioritize the isolation sort of game instead of just running up and down sort of thing. Then when that happened, you saw the 80s, the pace was crazy high. But then it took a downturn in the 90s when teams started realizing if we can slow the game down and give the ball to our elite isolation players, and we can slow down the game enough to where they don't need to get tired trying to isolate the whole game, and you can just give them a steady diet of these possessions, it's going to be more efficient offense for us. And all we have to do is slow down the other team's isolation players. That's when the pace started to decline in the 90s. and then that wasn't great. And teams couldn't shoot because of the illegal defense. It made it very weird with illegal defense and players isolating. If you did collapse on them, no one could shoot. So then they shortened the 3-point line to try to solve that. And then Hakeem's Rockets started shining because you double Hakeem in the post and you have a short 3-point line. Guys like Kenny Smith, Robert Ory, they could shine with a short and 3-point line. Then they realized that wasn't smart. They put the 3-point line back, and then you see that steady time of 98 to 01 before they changed the rules again. Jerry Colangelo was someone who spoke about this a lot. He hated the fact that teams were just running clear out basically on one side, let our best player isolate. He didn't like that brand of basketball, so he was raising issues for a very long time. And then when they changed they added zone defense again after AI's MVP year, 01-02.
I thought it was during.
I think it was the next season, I believe. I could be wrong. It might have been that year or the year after. But around that time, 2001, around that time, they allowed zone defense back into the NBA because Jerry Colangelo seemed to believe if you allow zone defense back in the NBA, it would get rid of the idea of teams just clearing out one side for an isolation player. And he thought that would open up the game, open up the floor for other offensive players, and the team aspect of the game would return. And then you want to go look at what the offense was looking like those 3 years. Didn't go how he expected. It was terrible. So then 04-05, Jerry Colangelo again wanted to start complaining. This is where the Steve Nash got carried sort of argument comes from. Mm-hmm. They got rid of the hand checking, which made it easier for perimeter players with the now zone defense for those offensive players to shine. And that's like the last rule change we've had with defense. And then since that point onwards, that's when offenses have been starting to steadily evolve because you can't touch them. Zone defense allows the floor to be a lot more spread. Now people can shoot. So the difference is we've gone from the 80s where zone defense was illegal and players were still just running up and down a lot. Then the 90s, they figured out isolation basketball was the way to go. And they shortened the 3-point line, which made it easier with the zone defense and people collapsing and sending doubles. People could shoot. Then they changed that. Offenses stagnated for about 8 years. Then they changed it in 05. We have the offenses we have now, and everyone says no one plays defense. The rule changes just dictate a lot of how the game is played. And I can't say players aren't playing defense now. The rules just make it a lot harder for them to play defense. So,
hand checking should also have never been in the NBA. So
I don't see a problem with hand checking.
You would see it if you were playing against it.
Bro, I still don't see the problem. I don't get why an offensive player has all the freedom and you can't just put your arm on someone.
You can armbar people, but you can't hand check them. Armbarring and hand checking are two different things.
They've outlawed hand checking many times.
No, hand checking.
Originally in like the 90s, you could literally put your arm on someone and guide them where you wanted them. Mm-hmm. That was the hand checking they outlawed. I can't remember the year, but they outlawed that a long time before 2005. Then you used to be able to put your forearm on a player, and that's like the armbar sort of thing. But they still called that hand checking. You could do that. And then in 2005, they made it so you couldn't put your hands on anyone. You couldn't put your arm on anyone. You couldn't lean on anyone. And now you're basically just having to move your feet with an offensive player who knows where they want to go, and you're just trying to react without any sort of assistance.
Bro, am I tripping? You can't armbar anymore?
No, you can't. Mm-mm. You can't. That got outlawed. I think it was in 05. That's when it got completely outlawed.
And that's why some people will say Jerry Colangelo knew what was coming. That's why he traded for Steve Nash.
Damn, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly
those Phoenix Suns teams were ahead of the curve, and Steve Nash wasn't actually that good, and he just benefited from them knowing the rules were going to
preach.
Bro, it's tough.
Preach.
Yeah,
because you can still do it in college. So damn, that's tough. Okay.
So I mean, I'm not. Listen, bro. I mean, with the amount of spacing there is today, so the hand checking thing, like with zone defenses and no spacing, is like what the fuck? What do you want to?
Yeah, that's why the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was down, man, because it's all these rules against us. So in my opinion, since you have the spacing there, since you have the shooting there, you could bring back hand checking. Bro.
No, bro, hand checking is crazy, bro. It is crazy. You could literally hold people.
I know, Jay. I know, but there's a limit to it. Right? So if you just bring back the little forearm and stuff, I'm not really that mad at that, especially when you consider the fact that, bro, the paint is so wide open right now. So it's not like they can hand check and then there's a bunch of big men down low that's keeping you from scoring. No, you got a free paint. So you beat that. You be a man. You beat that man, and you go ahead, and get to a bucket, bro. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
So what do you think about them allowing getting rid of the 3 in the key, because that's something with, I think, the 0-1 change. That's something else they changed, because they didn't want you to have zone defense and be able to have a center just chilling in the paint with no 3-second violation. So they had
I
to
like that.
counteract that. So do you think if they just added back, you can stay in the lane as long as
No, bro, that would be
don't do that.
miserable.
No,
because
no.
do you
It's
watch
gonna
the
change the
EuroLeague at all,
game.
Mars? Do you
It's
watch the
gonna change
EuroLeague at all?
completely, bro.
Yeah, I've seen an international play. That's how
Bro,
they do
it
it.
is scoring in the paint is like
gonna
those
change
scores.
But I'm saying if you wanna bring back defense, like
Hand
if you
checking,
did
that's
that,
it.
do you think defense would look much better if you could just have
Well,
one big who could chill in the paint?
Yeah, it would be easier to defend the rim, and
Rudy Gobert would be a best defender in
the
the league.
scoring averages would drop significantly. Like you'd be seeing, it would be closer to around 80 points per game scored, and you would see a lot more games like in the 70s. Like it would be brutal if they allowed him just camp in the
that
paint.
goes back to Bob's point. Then we can't really say the NBA is more skilled if we put the game back to how it used to be. You're saying the scoring would just drop drastically. Dramatically. Yeah.
Dramatically. I like it.
It's crazy.
That's nice. I like
Drastically.
Drastically. The scoring would drop drastically. Then can we really say the players are more skilled, or they're just benefiting from rules that make offense easier?
It's a fair point, but I'm still looking
true,
at exactly. I think in this case 2 things could be true as well. I think that the scoring output would increase back then if they weren't allowed to camp in the key, for sure. However, it would be spread out amongst the team. You wouldn't be seeing like more players across the league who are just putting up insane numbers. There might be, like, if we're putting numbers to it, let's say it's 20 guys who are averaging, like 25 to 30 points, right? Compared to today where it's like half the league can average 25 points. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just the quantity of players who are averaging high points per game is just it's higher today because of the offensive ability that these guys have.
So Mars, I wanna address the question you had about the 3 second. I think just having a big man stand in paint would just ruin everything. It would ruin everything, honestly. So I'm not with you on
college. College is great. College basketball is amazing basketball.
Yeah, bro, but their high game in college is 70 points, bro.
Well, they only play 2 quarters.
They're playing defense.
They only play 2 quarters.
It's 2 halves. It's a 40-minute game.
2 halves. Yeah, but I'm not with a big man standing in the paint all day. I hate seeing defenses like that. I actually despise it. I think it's fucking ridiculous. But you being able to hand check, because now it's just like you just changed the whole dynamic of the game. Where I do agree with you, where I do think players are more talented, but the rules definitely do. It works in both ways. The rules definitely do play a part in how these offensive players look. But that's
you watch college basketball at all?
Watch it a little bit. I'd much prefer watching an NBA game.
I agree.
And I think that's the point of why the NBA has made the game the way it is, because it's just more. It's more. I guess the entertainment value.
Entertainment. That's all it is, bro. It's a business.
But to me, I'm like, like I said, I grew. my pops was a coach. I grew up with him. Trying to explain the intricacies of basketball. Like, you do this, you do that. That's good basketball. That's bad basketball. This and that, right? So I prefer to watch college basketball, because to me, they're still playing basketball. Like, to me, the NBA, I know it is basketball. Don't want to sound.
They play harder in college.
I don't really consider it basketball anymore.
They play harder. They play harder.
If you're a basketball purist, I can see why you wouldn't love the NBA. If you just love watching exciting basketball, then today's NBA is incredible. I still like watching the NBA. If I'm playing basketball, I would prefer it to be, more along the lines of college rules if I'm playing it, because favors me.
I just don't want to see. I just don't want to see a big man standing in the paint all day. That's what I don't want to see. I do not want to see basketball played like that.
Well, that's the point. That's the point of coaching. The big man, you got to make the big man move. You got to
draw him out of the paint. Like, it's guys like Shaq would try to stay in the paint.
That's some pussy shit.
It promotes a better.
That's some pussy shit, bro.
It promotes a better brand of basketball in terms of involving the team as opposed to going one-on-one. So, like, again, if you're a basketball purist, it's better to watch because everyone's getting involved as opposed to watching LeBron James come down the floor the last 10 possessions in ISO, right?
That people keep using that word evolved. Like, it just evolved. It just evolved. Like, okay, you could call it that, but it's like it's clearly just rules changed for the benefit of 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 the finances. So I wouldn't call it
But
evolving.
But Mars,
but
even if they implement that rule, I think with the spacing of today, I mean, I think they'll still be able to draw the big man out though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm asking, because I think it would make a difference, but with the shooting everyone has, how viable would it be to just run a 2-3 basically the whole game with a big down in the paint? It wouldn't be that viable if you could just to some degree run a 5 out. For a lot of teams could do that, and also those bigs would have to step out at least to the free throw line because you can break a zone just by attacking the middle, and the big's gonna have to step up. But then you've got cutters everywhere who can either spot up for free or just cut in behind the big in the space he's vacating. I think it just adds a new dynamic to the type of offenses you can run. I don't think, like, maybe back in the day when teams couldn't shoot, you could just get away with just holding a big in the paint the whole game, like a minute ball, and just do that. But you couldn't really do that now because offense is just so advanced. But I just think it adds a new layer to defense, and I would never argue against that.
I just don't want to see a big man sitting in the paint all day. That's
No.
it.
You don't want to see Rudy Gobert shine. That's why.
It's honestly not that bad because, like, go watch you should watch some EuroLeague games. They're fun to watch and you're allowed to camp in the paint. But when you're comparing the two, and the entertainment value of the NBA is better because there's rules that exist that promote high-powered offenses. But
The NBA is meant for the casuals.
if you like basketball and you don't care about the entertainment side and, like, I want to see the flashy dunks and I want to see people putting up 50, 60, 70 points, every other night, and you're down to watch somebody put up a 20-point performance and it's incredible because of the nature of that game and the rules that exist. Like, EuroLeague's amazing to watch. To Bobby's point, college is great to watch as well. But anyway, we've been on that forever. I want to hit these super chats. Mythic SA, what's the best defensive team you've seen all time?
I gotta go with that Chicago Bulls, bro. Chicago Bulls team is different.
Well, 96.
96. Having Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, Scotty, and MJ all at the same time is like SOD, bro. They were pressing dudes like as soon as they would get the ball. Bro. Not even let them cross half court. They would press them the whole time. Like, that defense is suffocating, bro. I think that, in my opinion, bro. That
Since you went with them, I'll go with the 04 Pistons.
Well, then, since you went with the 04 Pistons, I'll go with the 08 Celtics.
JD, it's your turn.
The
2011 Mavs, since they shut down LeBron.
Yeah, bro. 2011 Mavs. Put it on vinyl. Let's say we add 2 to 4 more teams to the NBA. What cities would you like to see get a team? Seattle's a lock. Who else? So outside of Seattle, what
New
other
Jersey!
cities would you like to see?
New Jersey.
I don't know the geography of the North America enough to. But why did Vancouver lose their team?
I don't know.
Vancouver Grizzlies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it because they just didn't think they could have 2 Canadian teams? Because for me, I don't see Canada's quite a large country. I don't see why you can't just have Vancouver and Toronto.
I mean, they could have Vancouver, Montreal. I don't know why. I would think maybe Kansas City. I've said a couple times Albuquerque, El Paso.
They said they moved from Vancouver because of low attendance, bad contracts, and low revenue, and lost revenue. So that's why they moved.
I'd assume that the NBA wasn't popular enough in Canada to have 2 teams there sustainably.
Yeah,
I think at this point it'd probably be viable.
Yo,
well, shut up, Ty. My bad. Shut up, Ty. I don't care. I want Jersey to have a fucking basketball team, bro. I need that. I need that in my life. I'm tired of going to New York and Philly just to watch freaking basketball, bro. It's annoying. That drive is brutal, bro.
Yo,
some of those cities
move the Clippers back to San Diego.
All right.
Some of those cities though, they shouldn't have the 18,000 seats. They could just make it like a little smaller, 14,000, 13,000 seat arenas. They could still fill that. They could fill that up.
So this is fire because you guys are just going off of your personal biases and you're not looking at any data, whatever. So this is all right. Let's look at this conversation. Immaculate Cap says majority of fans value defense. That's why most people are highlight watchers. And then because he said majority of people value defense, right? Majority, right?
I think so.
And then YouTube user says, yeah, JD doesn't know basketball. There's a reason people are complaining about the scoring. They clearly want defense. You guys are looking at this in such a small box, and you're not considering the casual viewers. And, bro, if you play video games, this is how I'll put it. If you play video games, look at a game like a Call of Duty. Call of Duty hasn't been good for, several years, almost 10 years maybe. And it's because they're not doing anything to appease the competitive side, which I like the competitive side, where it's more competitive. They appease the casual gamers, right? So that they can increase the amount of player base. They want it to be easier for casual players, so increase their player base, and then they put in all this shit that you could buy skins and whatever else, and so they can make more money because it's a business. NBA. The majority of casual fans don't give a damn about defense because they're casual fans. You're I can tell you're a purist. You would like to watch basketball be played at a high level on both sides of the floor. I could respect that. I like that too. But if you are a casual viewer and you see someone puts up 80 points, or Donovan Mitchell, 71 points the other night, you're looking at that like, that is nuts. And then you're going to school the next day, or you're going to work the next day, and you're like, did you see Donovan Mitchell 71? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, bro. It's a business. They make more money this way. If more people wanted the defense and the NBA was like, oh, that's a good decision, we should make this more even so we can decrease the offensive side of the ball, then their business would crumble. Come on, bro. JD doesn't know basketball. Jesus, man.
So yesterday I forgot to address this. Somebody said that the NBA viewership is going down. I think a lot of that is because there's a lot more people streaming things. There's a lot more people streaming it online, and then the views aren't getting counted. I think a lot of people are watching basketball, so the viewers are not going down. If anybody believes that, I think actually basketball is as big as it's been for the last 10 years.
I think
because of TikTok, and because of all these social media outlets like Twitter and Instagram, so many more people. China too.
Just
yeah.
their international presence. I'll Google this after, but I wanted to see what the viewership was for all the big three letter leagues, because I feel like NBA is going to be surpassing the NFL if it hasn't already.
Really?
I don't think the NBA is going to surpass the
NFL. Is that possible, Jetty?
They're never going to surpass the NFL.
Doesn't the NBA reschedule their games to not be in line with any big NFL games because they know they can't compete?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why they do the TNT on Tuesday. They're about to go back.
But also,
Thursday.
that could be true, Mars. I don't actually know, but just thinking about it, why would you want to try to compete with another sport when you want to maximize viewership? So if you know millions of people are going to watch football and they can't watch both at the same time, but some people would be flipping back and forth, wouldn't you want to capitalize on maximum viewership? So you wouldn't schedule that anyway.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but when you're playing 14 games the day before a big NFL game, just so you can avoid matching up with the NFL, I'd assume it's because you know you can't really compete with that. There was a Thursday a couple of weeks ago. They had like 14 games on the Wednesday night, and then the game where it was competing with the NFL was Washington versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Just some random game that they knew no one cared about, so they just put it on at the same time as the NFL. And every other game had to be played the day before.
Fair. To go back to so what cities you want to see an NBA team in? So I don't know. I don't travel, so I don't care.
No, this man.
So what you do? So basically, JD was supposed to say three, and that's not Seattle.
You know
right?
what Jay's doing today, guys? You know what JD's? So JD's trying to be a panelist and a host, right? And then when he gets stuck and doesn't know what to say, we'll just be okay, and then just keep it moving.
Yeah. Why
Like
are you
Jay,
exposing me, Dub?
it's like you gonna be a panelist or not? Like, what are you doing,
Bro,
bro?
I am. Bro, there's only 4 of us today. I got to tap in. And we're talking about, like, we're actually talking about topics where I could actually add to the conversation. When it's talking about, like, the game of basketball, I know the game of basketball more than I know storylines and of the NBA and, like, stats from 10 years ago and, like, into specific games. Like, I can't recall that stuff like you guys can. So when you guys are talking about that stuff, it's like I stop paying attention. But when we're talking about the game of basketball, like, I could go on and on and on about the game.
I got you.
So besides Seattle though, JD, obviously I would say Vegas, Kansas City, and shit. I guess maybe
Not
like
Vegas.
I
Not
would
Vegas.
even throw
Vegas
would
for
even
sure.
throw like
Vegas
a-
for
No,
sure.
no,
Vegas for sure.
no, no.
I would throw Albuquerque
You-
or El Paso in there.
Vegas got no.
Albuquerque.
Vegas is a huge.
Albuquerque-
When Vegas had the All-Star
Albuquerque's
game,
dope?
It was a
Yeah,
night.
No
hell
way.
yeah.
You're lying.
Vegas is a huge distraction, bro. That they can't do Vegas. They can't.
JD,
do Vegas.
you never been to Albuquerque?
Bro, I haven't been to most places.
Oh,
Bobby,
shit, go to-
I don't
go to
hardly
Albuquerque.
leave my spot, man.
What's up,
Bobby,
Dub?
Vegas is a no-go, bro. It is a huge.
I mean, well, that
distraction.
I don't know. I just know a lot of people want Vegas, so I
Wait,
think Vegas.
The
they got- they
Vegas
just got a
All-Star
football-
game didn't go very well, and that was just
Didn't?
an All-Star game. Like a lot of the NBA had a lot of issues with that, so I don't know about a team there full time.
Nah,
but you gotta-
the distractions
people think
and
that's
the-
stuff that's
nah,
distraction,
hold it.
but when you got that much money, bro, it's a distraction in Dallas. It's a distraction in Miami. It's a distraction.
It's a
Yeah,
distraction.
Michael Beasley did speak about the distractions.
Yeah,
in
you could do
Miami,
you
to
could
be
you
fair.
could do you could do anything. Look, you could do anything you
Distractions,
want in Dallas.
distractions,
So, you know,
distractions
it's-
are everywhere. Yes, but in Vegas,
Houston.
it's-
Come on,
Vegas,
Dub.
Vegas is a different level, though. We all know this. This is every night, every
I gotta
single
disagree.
night.
I gotta disagree with you,
What?
Dub. I mean, like, have you been to Dallas?
I ain't been to Dallas before, bro.
All right, bro. You could go to Dallas and do anything you could do in Vegas.
Nah, bro.
But you're
Nah,
not
bro.
doing it in Vegas.
You're not
though.
doing
It's different.
we all know that it's a different realm of doing something in Dallas than doing something in Vegas. We do know that. There's a difference. There's a difference in that. And even the
difference
Vegas
is that
Raiders,
it would be blown out of proportion
The
because
Vegas-
you're doing it in Vegas.
it's not
That's the
blown out
only
of
thing.
proportion. Look at the Vegas Raiders right now. The Raiders in the NFL right now, they moved to Las Vegas. I mean, you
Dub,
know,
have you
one
been
of their
to
one
Phoenix?
of their.
Dub, have you been to Phoenix?
I've never been to Phoenix, bro, but that's
All right,
that's
bro. I'm
not-
trying to tell you, you could do everything in Phoenix you could do in Vegas, bro.
all I'm saying that you essentially,
I'm telling you
if
from
you,
experience,
Bobby,
Dub. I'm trying to
I
tell
could
you.
do anything in Jersey too. It's not about that, bro. It's about limiting it. It's about limiting it. I have all this money. If I have all this money, then essentially yes, I could do anything anywhere, Bobby. It's just Vegas is a different realm, and we all know this.
It's-
Vegas is nonstop party hard.
Yeah, but
Look at the Raiders. Look at the Raiders for an example, right? The Raiders had one of their wide receivers get in an accident because he was driving drunk. The Raiders look like a shit organization right now, and maybe being in Vegas is a catalyst to that as well. You have a team right now, the Vegas Raiders right now, who's in complete shambles right now because of how much bullshit that's going on. I'm not gonna.
Oh, you're coming from a
put that on-
player's perspective? I thought you were talking about from like a business perspective or a fan perspective. You shouldn't have a team in Vegas.
Nah,
Oh, no,
fan
I'm
perspective.
talking
people would love
about
it.
players. I'm talking about players.
I'm talking
Like-
about a fan perspective. Get a team in Vegas, bro.
Fan perspective,
I
yes,
think
but
I think the
it's gonna
team
be
is coming for
huge.
sure.
to try and compete in Vegas a year in and year out basis, bro. I just think that the players would just be distracted because of that. In my
Nah,
opinion.
bro,
It's not like
it
you gotta-
doesn't
it's not like
matter.
You gotta live in. You
Doesn't
don't gotta
matter
live
where
in the
you are.
Bellagio, bro. You don't gotta live on the strip. Like
It doesn't matter
it's
where
like,
you are, bro.
You don't
The
gotta be down there all the time.
the
you know?
distractions-
You gotta be
the distractions and the like God, what is it called? What is the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Well, the distractions, it just exists. It exists everywhere. Dude, there's a word that I'm trying to look
distractions
for.
live everywhere, bro. The distractions are everywhere. Yes. The point I'm saying, the distractions is Vegas. I think is far more numerous, bro. Like there's
Nah.
so many people. There's so many people, bro, that just go in there to do what? to get fucked up, have a good ass time, and being surrounded by that influence in general is gonna take a toll on people.
Nah, bro.
What do
I
people
bet
go to
LA and
Miami
Miami
for,
are
Dub?
worse.
What do-
I
what do
bet
people
LA
go to
and Miami
Miami
are
for?
worse than Vegas, bro. Because Vegas is more of a touristy
That's a
deal.
fact.
Let
And
me
then,
ask you
bro,
this,
look
Jay.
at LA and Miami, bro. There's way more like celebs and stuff in those cities. It's
Let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this, right? If you living in Vegas constantly, right? You get not and you got mad money and it's nonstop. Just random ass people coming in and out, in and out. You going to these parties, it's nonstop people going in and out. You getting tight with the club owners and everything like that. In my head, bro, I mean, you got a bunch of people who's going there to have a good fucking time, who's going there, to be honest, to get fucked up. That's gonna have an influence over you, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
bro, you're acting like that shit wouldn't get old. Like that's not sustainable for any human being unless you're just like
I'm not
that's
gonna hold you,
what
bro.
you do for 20
That
years
shit-
of your life is like you just chase that.
Let me tell you, Jay.
Especially if you're an adult, if you're a grown ass man, and you're like,
Man,
well, I got
bro,
a family, I can't be out here wilding every day in Vegas.
Right,
bro.
right.
It's
Listen,
like-
in a perfect world,
not how it works.
in a perfect world, y'all would be right. This ain't a perfect world, bro. There's a lot of people that have been doing the same shit for 20 years. And
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly, Dub, and that's what I'm saying. This isn't a perfect world. So these guys, as rich as they are, these guys are incredibly rich, bro. They can do all of this stuff. Like it's no distraction to go to Vegas because Vegas is everywhere they go if they wanted to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in places like Miami,
Right.
Dallas, Phoenix, LA, bro. This it's going up anywhere they are.
This is the
funny
point.
thing-
This
Come
is
on,
the point.
Houston.
This is the point.
My bad. The funny
hold on. The
thing-
point. This
oh,
is the
go ahead,
point.
go
This is the point. It's the person. It's not the destination. It's the person, right? If the person wants to go do these things, like look at Dennis Rodman. Let's just take Dennis Rodman, for example, because we know like the lifestyle that he wanted to live and like the partying, right? He's going to party whether he's in Chicago or Utah. Like he's going to go find it. He's going to go to where it is. That story of him driving to Vegas, like and partying, right? It's like it doesn't matter. The destination isn't so much going to like have that impact on him. It's the person, and if they're closer to it, then sure, that's easier for them. But they're going to do what they're going to do regardless.
They're going. It's about limiting influence in your life, bro. That's what it is. And no matter what you say, bro, influence does take hold over people's lives. It's about what you surround yourself around. So surrounding yourself around an environment like that, I say like, oh my God, you're gonna make me get nasty, bro. I would say it like this: you wouldn't want your girl around hoes. Why? Because you know her being around hoes can have an influence over her. That's just what happens. Even though you probably no, not Mars. Trust me, I've seen this time and time again.
Trust Mars. Trust me. He's been on this earth for a long time.
Unless she has already those devilish thoughts.
Trust him.
Nah, I'm telling you.
You could put two people in a room full of cocaine. One person is a cocaine addict. They will actually take the cocaine. One person has never been interested in cocaine. They won't look at it twice.
I've
But
been
Mars,
I've been in
Mars,
plenty of
Mars,
rooms where
Mars,
there were
Mars,
things that I did
Mars,
not want to
it's about
partake
what you
in.
think.
Mars,
It's about what you think.
no, Mars.
If
I'm
you've never
if I'm
been
hanging around-
tempted by something, it wouldn't bother you. If it's around you.
Temptation.
No,
That's the
no,
word.
there
Thank
we
you,
go.
Mars.
There we go.
If you've
Temptation.
never been tempted by
Okay,
something, it
fuck.
won't bother you if you're around
Perfect.
it.
Mars, leave it right there.
Who's
Yes.
this?
That's rated R. Mars, stay right there.
This is rated R.
Stay right,
Yes, dude.
Mars, stay right there. Yes. If you've
Oh,
never
I'm
been tempted,
excited.
if you've never been tempted by something, it's not going to tempt you in the moment that you're in. Yes, but it's about if you continuously surround yourself around that environment. If you continuously put yourself in that position over time, that is something that can have an influence over your life. For example, if I am continuously surrounding myself around guys who's smoking weed, even though I'm not a person that smokes weed, if I'm constantly around that on a night in and night out basis, eventually there's gonna be a point in time where I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take a hit. Everybody else is around me. I'm gonna take a hit. It happens. That's how influence works. It's not that
Even
it's
if
peer
it's
pressure.
gonna mess up your
It's just
multi-million-dollar contract.
No,
Right.
no, Bobby. It's just something that happens over time. And you going out and
That just
partying.
sounds like a lack
No,
of
no, Bobby.
self-control.
It's
No,
a lack of self-control.
No.
Because
Wait.
Dub, but you're
I need to
talking.
address what Bobby said.
Go ahead.
You going out and partying is not gonna affect your $1 million contract, bro. It's really not.
Why not? What are you talking about?
What you mean? Guys go out and party all the time. It doesn't affect their contract. They have freedom to do that. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
so then what's the
It's a-
problem
it's
with
a-
going to
it's
Vegas
a-
then?
Right.
It doesn't affect your contract.
Right.
What's the point? What are you talking about, Dub? Thank you. I'm happy
Because-
with
Bro,
that
listen,
full circle.
but Dub, what you're talking about, like, I don't know
No,
if
wait, let
you're
me address-
talking
let
from
me address what Bobby
experience
said.
or if
Let
you're
me-
talking
let me
about
address
just
what
like
Bobby said.
regurgitating something.
Let me
but
address what Bobby said. Let me address what Bobby said, right? The fact is, when you're constantly in an environment like that could stray you away from what the goal is at hand, which is playing football. You being around that type of atmosphere could have a negative influence over you, in my opinion. So
it
that's all
could,
I'm
yes,
saying.
but it also could
Football
not.
players are different.
Bro, I
Makes no
literally
sense.
through high school and college was constantly around things that I wasn't going to participate in, but my friends are doing it. I never once folded to it because it was just around me. I was like, all right, you guys do that. I have no interest in it. Whatever. But but the notion that like it's just inevitable. It's like you have no self-control, like that just goes out the window because you're just around it all the time.
It's not about you not having self-control. All I'm saying is pointing out that for an extended period of time, in more cases than not, so maybe you can be an exception, but more cases than not, a lot of people fall under influence. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's just how life works. Maybe
What's
it doesn't
up, bro?
happen to you. Maybe that doesn't happen to you, Jay. It doesn't even happen to me like that.
Dub,
Honestly.
you
I'm not the type of guy-
influenced, Dub?
Huh?
You say you influenced?
I'm not easily influenced by anything, in my opinion. But what I've seen, especially in my lifetime and time again, bro, this is something that happens. The more the negative energies that you surround yourself around, the more and more that starts having an influence over your life. That's just how life works. It is what it is.
No,
So
Xavier, I for sure have. I'm just saying I wasn't gonna do it if I didn't want to do it.
You can have self-control all you want, but negative energy, no matter what, negative energy will begin to influence your life. It is what it is. I mean,
Dub,
for
you're
example,
right, Dub.
I use myself.
You're right, Dub.
So,
I use-
I just don't think that there's a big difference from these guys with this much money being in LA, Dallas, Phoenix, Miami, any major city than Vegas. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's really that big of a difference, bro. It's like
yeah, and
you can do everything out there that you could do in all these other cities, bro. So I don't really see what's the big
Dub,
the
I will
big deal about
I will
Vegas.
say, because I don't want to make you think that I'm completely knocking your point. I think that there is merit to things that you are saying, but like
sure.
in this context of players being in certain cities, like if you were to put a number to it, it's probably less than 10% of players who are just going to wild out because they're in a certain city.
10%, that's good numbers. That's good numbers.
All right,
We shall see.
let's move on. Aramis Jones. If today's game had players defending with a Kobe mindset, effort-wise, it would be more fun. Think about it. Best players on each team guarding each other, but yes, rules in NBA today do make it harder to play defense. Rules cater more to offense, and this is kind of the point that I was making about, more of a casual fan compared to more of like a purist, in that I think purists would enjoy watching a more balanced brand of basketball for sure. Kenyon White, who would hand checking affect the most?
I would like to
Bro,
say
it'd be
that
everyone.
I
Morant.
would like to talk about that
For
first
sure,
super chat though.
Kill him.
Trey
Wanna talk
Young will
about
be
that?
killed by hand.
Killed.
I would like to address that first super chat with like Kobe mentality. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. It's hard as fuck to have that type of mentality. So yes, your take isn't wrong, but it's like
Don't do this.
not
bro.
everybody has that.
He
Bro.
basically saying he want everybody to be a little bit close of a defensive mindset,
Not-
like when
but
playing basketball.
Right, yo,
I'm
the
fine
thing
with that, but the whole Kobe mentality is
Dub,
not
the thing about
something
Dub
that's
is
very
that he
good.
believes that you can't play defense and offense because these world class athletes will be too tired by the end of the
That's
game.
not what I
It's so
said.
fucking
I've never
crazy,
said
bro.
that
Like,
once,
I
Bobby.
said that.
Yeah, that's
Jay
a
said
lot.
that.
A lot of y'all said that these world class athletes
So,
obviously are not in good enough shape to play offense and defense.
So let me ask you a
They
question.
need to go play football.
Do it make it impressive for guys to still be all defensive players and be all NBA defenders and still defending when it's so hard to defend in this era? Do it make it like guys like Draymond, Kawhi, Giannis, and all them other guys that the two to defend on a high level and still when it's and we playing in an era where it's so hard to defend? You know what I'm saying? Because if you be a little physical with these basketball players on the perimeter, it's an easy foul, right? Because you can't really barely touch them. Right, so is it easier? Is it more impressive for defenders like that to play in the era where it's hard to guard?
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
I
that
think
applies to Giannis though. Giannis isn't really an on-ball defender. Like when we're
No,
talking
no, no.
about
He
when we're talking about these players who
he
are
a cone
like,
he a cone out on the perimeter, but outside under the basket, he's elite at that.
yeah, but that doesn't take as much energy as like what Kawhi Leonard was doing a few years ago.
Oh no, I didn't
If
say
you,
that. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying like under the basket, help side. That's what Giannis is elite at. That's what he's good at, and he's defending on a high level at doing that. Help side and being a great rim protector. So yeah,
I love
why
the
you?
chat, bro. No, it's not y'all. I love the chat.
that Dub, you out here sauce, Dub.
Yo, Aramis
Nah.
Jones is apparently
tripping,
sponsoring
Y'all
the
know
show
what
today.
I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying, bro. Y'all know
Nah, dog, I
exactly
got
what
you.
I'm saying, bro. We don't have to act as if y'all don't understand it. It's not
Aramis has sent
be
like
real.
over $200 worth of super
I don't
chats.
want your girl hanging around hoes, bro. We know this is facts, bro.
Oh my
That
god.
nigga dog.
Aramis Jones let Future and James Harden buy a
Them
team
hoes
and
gonna
their
be
home
like,
court advantage would
let's
be
go
the
out
shit
tonight,
strip.
bro. Oh my god, let me flirt with this guy, man. And then your girl gonna be watching out night
Yo,
in, night out
Dub,
basis.
Dub,
Sooner or later,
Dub,
she
you're
gonna
going
be on
down a
somebody.
bad
They gonna go down
road.
to somebody
Dub
next
got
too, bro.
Chill.
PTSD,
God damn, bro. Indoor voices, Dub, SMH. There are distractions in every city. It's up to the players themselves to stay focused. They're not children. You're a Heat fan. You should know.
It's all about limiting the influence. That's all we doing, bro.
All right. Question, kind of along the same lines of this, the rule changes and things that we've been talking about. How much can you change the game before you wouldn't consider it basketball anymore?
It's already at that point. It's already there.
as long as the
Across
aim of the
line.
game is to throw the ball into a hoop,
You got people
It's
double
basketball.
dribbling. You can barely touch them when they get to the foul line. No less contact. Listen, it's easier to score in this era. It's easier to score. It's more spread out, more perimeter oriented basketball, right? So guys can't be physical like they wanted to. But yes, it's I feel like it's kind of like that point because but you got people like scoring like 37-40 off the gate. So yeah, bro. I think it's already to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they like what's the dude's name on Instagram and TikTok that he does like he goes back and he says he's like the what does he call himself, the NBA police or something? And
Yeah, the
he just
NBA.
calls out
Yeah.
but he
Dev in
calls
the
out all
lab.
the carries, the carries, the travels, but it's sick at this point. They don't call nothing on the offensive end because they just want these guys to score 200 points a night. This ain't basketball. Whatever this
It's
stuff
not.
is that you watching, it ain't basketball.
It's
not,
like
bro.
some of my favorite content on the internet right now, bro. He is hilarious.
Yeah.
he exposed Jaylen Brown.
Oh yeah, he carry.
Yo, who's better, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell?
What Chamberlain?
What Chamberlain? He's a better basketball player. Period.
Boss.
Why are we talking about 60s guys?
What is going on?
Why? What's
No,
none
not
of
today.
none of us saw them live, man. None of us saw them live. So
We don't care. All right, we don't
what
care.
are we really gonna talk about? Wilt Chamberlain, he scored better. He was more athletic. Bill Russell has 11 rings.
All right, I'm falling asleep. What if you had to?
R.I.P. Bill Russell. R.I.P. Wilt
Where
Chamberlain.
is my?
If you could name this era from 2020 to 2029, I know we're not even halfway through, but if you could name it right now, what would you name this era of basketball?
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
The Run It Up era.
The international,
The analytics era.
the international era.
I'll call it the BBL.
What? What does the BBL stand for?
Just fake.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Probably the 3-point era. Nah, not even the 3-point era. I say the international era with guys like Luka and then Giannis and Jokic.
Oh yeah.
Those guys being in the league and playing. Those are the guys that's probably going to dominate for the
And
next
Joel
10 years.
Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So I will have to go with the international era because all of those guys, the general consensus, like top 5 to top 6 players, and Giannis, Luka, and Jokic have good possibilities of being the best player in the world in next years to come. So
You don't think Joel Embiid can be in that situation?
I got to see him in the playoffs healthy, bro.
Joel Embiid is so underrated, man.
I love
Absolutely.
Joel. I love Joel though. I love Joel.
The thing about Joel is the thing about Joel. The only thing that's holding Joel Embiid is back is injuries. I gotta understand, like, when he was doing against Atlanta Hawks, 35, 12, and 5, with a Ben Simmons, who was a liability offensively. What he was doing. Listen, I got to think about it. When he came back against the Raptors, the Heat series, he single-handedly made that series with just his impact on the floor. So I'm just saying is that if you look at him, he's always top 2, top 3 in scoring for the last 2 seasons. His efficiency is pretty well. And his skill, his talent, step back, fade away. He got everything. Plays back to the basket. His great footwork, man. Listen, Joel Embiid, I think Joel Embiid is very, very underrated, and I think Joel Embiid can be one day solidify himself as the best player in the world if he, gets further in the playoffs.
We got to see him in the playoffs though, like, and that's the reason why I really can't put him up there yet, because the only time we've seen him, the only time we've seen him in the playoffs, like, do something, was in that Atlanta run, right? But then every year after that, he's hurt. He's hurt, or he's not playing.
But like you say, that's not about his game. That's just about him being hurt.
Yeah,
but
so
Mars,
I got
it's off season, bro. He got to get in that pool. He got to come in. He got to come in shape. He can't come in out of shape.
Bobby, don't do that.
I got to do that. Chill.
He was hurt in the off season. That's why he came into the season.
Yeah, maybe this off season. No, but he gets hurt because he can't last the whole season, bro. He comes in out of shape, and then he relies on getting in shape during the game.
Face.
Yes, he torn up his hand.
So what you're telling me is that if you hurt your face or hurt your hand, you can't get no cardio in. You can't get in the pool because your hand hurt.
I'm saying him coming in out of shape has nothing to do with his face breaking.
He had a torn ligament in his hand, bro. That's that specific incident that we're talking about. I'm talking about, like, previous to this, the prior years when he was hurting his lower body injuries and just not being in shape. He can't last the whole season, bro. And I think that has to do with his off season antics. I think if he took that a little more serious, I think that he would be what you guys are saying.
Joel Embiid ain't in the work, putting the work in, getting in shape.
I don't
because the last couple of seasons he's been playing at MVP caliber basketball. To do that, you have to put in the work in the off season to play that high level, especially in the regular season for a long time. Like I said,
I can't tell you definitely what any of these dudes is doing during the offseason. All I can do is just based on what I've seen throughout his career. Now, y'all, it's easy for y'all to point out last year, the year before. I'm talking about even prior to that. When I'm talking about this whole career where Joel could have been hands down the best big man in the league. I think he could have been, but I don't think he's taking. He's advantage of his offseason.
But go ahead.
Okay,
I don't think
with that. But
you've never heard of Domantas Sabonis?
Nah, he ain't nowhere near. But I think Joel, what he brings on both ends of the floor, and just him having that skill, talent, him posting up, and him being a great scorer for his position as well, and what he brings on the defensive side of the ball. I think basketball's played both ways, and I think Joel Embiid, to me, what he brings to his team on both ends of the floor, I think he's easily the best center in the NBA. Real talk. And no disrespect to Nikola Jokic, but Nikola Jokic, I love Jokic's playmaking, right? I think Jokic is a pretty good 3-level scorer as well, but Embiid just do more on both ends, bro. He just do, right? And I just think that is a huge gap between defense between Jokic and Embiid. So Embiid is the best center in the NBA. Don't he leads the NBA in scoring right now, ladies and gentlemen?
Probably.
Absolutely. So, and he's doing it on both ends, and what he brings on the value of defense is unbelievable for his team.
Bobby, I tried to throw you the Sabonis alley-oop. Where were you, bro?
Oh man, if you know, Jay. You just gotta know. But look, if you, I don't think there's any excuse for NBA players to come into the season out of shape. I don't care who you are, not just Joel Embiid. And once again, like I said, I don't know what any of these cats are doing during the offseason, but I can watch at the beginning of the season and I can speculate. That's the best I can do. And I don't think there's any excuse for any of them to come in out of shape unless like you have a lower body injury that stops you from doing your cardio, stops you from doing whatever it is that you got to do, whether it's swimming in the pool, whether it's getting on the treadmill, or whatever these guys got. I don't know what they got in these training rooms nowadays, but I just don't think unless it's an injury that stops you from getting your work in, I don't think there's any excuse for you to come in out of shape. So I'm not gonna cut you no slack for that.
Professional athletes, they got to put in the work in. You know what I'm saying? They get paid millions of dollars to get in shape, and if they come in And if you're going into this season out of shape, I mean, that's no excuses, bro. That's no excuses.
Jimmy
Mars,
Tushu sent a super chat. Says, "Shout out Rated R. I taught him basketball."
That man's a troll, bro. You getting my comment section a troll.
Mars, I want to address the point I made earlier about the playoffs thing. I don't knock Joel Embiid for the playoffs, right? My thing is call him the best in the world. I just need to see him in the playoffs more healthy. You know, I gotta see how he performs in the playoffs. That's all that I'm saying. I don't knock him for that, but call him best in the world. I gotta see how much he can rise his game in the postseason, and I can't really knock or give him credit to that yet because the only time I've seen it was against Atlanta. Then every other year he was either too young or he was.
What about
hurt
Toronto? You didn't see that against Toronto?
It was bad in
Ooh,
Toronto.
he got packed up.
He's talking about
I'm talking about
Toronto.
last year,
not
Toronto.
2019.
Yeah,
Last year.
2019.
Oh, okay,
Last year Toronto he did great. Then Miami, like the bet I had with Euro, I kind of didn't collect for it because I looked at that series. I'm like, that dude's hurt. Like he was hurt. So I was like, I can't knock him for that, you know.
Uh-huh.
Every time I bring it up at Toronto, I instantly go back to that 2019 series.
Yeah, I thought they would talk about that too. I forgot to play.
Kawhi had that boy's lips stuck out, balling.
Yeah, that was an all-time great. That was an all-time great series right there. That was an all-time great series right there. And that was a great, unbelievable Toronto's defense team.
They never should have got rid of Jimmy Butler. Well, they should have never let Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Jimmy was their leader. He was their leader. He was a culture builder. I like Jimmy. I think Jimmy would have been well with 76. They chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy, bro. Said, come on, bro. That right there is just crazy.
Can we talk? Speaking of Jimmy Butler, he used to be on Minnesota. Can we talk about what in the world is going on in Minnesota? I have a quote here from Naz Reid. He was asked, "Is it a mystery to players that the T-Wolves are underachieving?" And he said, "Not really. We know why. And you know, I'm going to kind of keep that in-house, but we know why." What is the why?
It's either Cat or Rudy. I don't know which one they're alluding to. Maybe Rudy Gobert.
Why not the coach?
Gotta be Cat.
Why not the coach?
I think
Same coach last year. They were fine, bro.
I think you know.
Yeah, the team's different, and he hasn't changed his defensive scheme.
I think they missing that leadership. I think they miss, and I might say I'm correct, but I think they're missing like Pat Bev leadership in his antics. I also think that Rudy Gobert is he's garbage offensively. I mean, he to me, I think Rudy Gobert is a liability offensively. Like he's not really of a scorer, but he does what Rudy Gobert does bring defensively is elite. I think missing Cat for these longest period of time, they're going to miss that much of a scoring. I love Anthony Edwards. I love the wings that they have, but they just don't have enough scoring to me. But defensively, it's questionable there too because outside of Rudy and I forgot the other guy that played on there as well. I'm missing his name.
McDaniel.
McDaniel. They don't really have nothing defensively too as well. Losing Pat Bev and losing Jalen McDaniel, all them guys. It's going to take a hit, especially on that side of the ball. Rudy Gobert too. Oh, yeah, Vanderbilt. Oh, absolutely. So, that's going to take a hit as well. So, listen, I'm not shocked at why the Timberwolves are underachieving this year. I really didn't even have them in the playoffs this year. It's everybody think that they was going to go to the I didn't really have the Timberwolves in the playoffs, but it's not shocking to me whatsoever.
It's
not shocking.
Also,
I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong.
I'm not giving up on them. I'm sticking with it.
Hold on, you got them
You're
going.
a better man than me.
Hold on, you got the Timberwolves going to play. You got them in the play-in tournaments, or you got them in the playoffs?
I can't really call it. I just think that I think they can improve. Once again, I think it's a we could call it a cultural thing too. People say, "Oh, well, if you pay this player this much money, you have to play him this many minutes." I don't think Cat and Rudy are supposed to play together as much as they do. I think at times in the game you can have them in together. Like if you're playing the Jazz, you can play them together sometimes. If you're playing the Nuggets, sometimes you can play them together. But they don't need to play together all the time, And then on like defensive schemes, I think it takes time for your team to come around. You can't just have one training camp and just assume that these two guys are going to learn how to run their defensive scheme together. So I don't know if the coach is implementing that or if he's just like, oh, y'all just make it work, But if they do have a coach over there that is trying something new, I just think it takes a little time. On top of that, y'all call Rudy an offensive liability. I look at it a little different. He's a big lob threat. And when you got guys like D'Lo and Ant that can attack the rim, that lob threat right there. That's good offense. He can, if he attacks the offensive glass on the putback, that's good offense as well.
He's
No,
the
no,
he's the
that's
janitor.
literally
Yeah, but
the only thing he does,
Yeah, he's a
bro. And
janitor.
in my opinion,
that only is really big, Dub. I don't know if you understand how
Yeah,
important
but every
offensive
was
rebounding is,
DeAndre
bro.
Jordan a good offensive threat?
no,
Depending with Chris Paul, yes, he was. If
No,
you have
no,
the right,
nah.
Dub, how
no,
you gonna say no
no.
if you watch the
I
game, you can
watched
see.
DeAndre Jordan.
Well,
He
you
was
wasn't
just
you
a
wasn't
lob
wa-
threat, bro.
you put your glasses on, Dub.
No,
Like
but there's a
if
difference
you
between
got
being an
a lob,
offensive threat and an offensive liability. Like Rudy
For
Gobert
sure.
doesn't have to be an offensive threat, but I also wouldn't say he's an offensive liability.
He
And the
just
difference
don't.
between Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Jordan is there was hacker DeAndre Jordan because he couldn't make free throws.
So
Rudy Gobert can at least make free throws and he can catch lobs and he can
To-
get put back. So he has more value than DeAndre Jordan did.
to
Well,
Mars
of course. I'm not saying that DeAndre Jordan's on his level or anything like that. I'm just saying like to just trying to give pass to Rudy Gobert's offensive deficiencies. It's just it's
Yeah.
it's a skate. It's
He
just
don't
it's a
know
cop
how
out.
to.
It's a cop
like
out.
it's be times in games where there'd be a smaller guard, smaller wing on him where he can literally get the mismatch, get the switch and dominate his ass. But it's just the thing is that he just don't have that. He just don't have that instinct offense. He don't.
Yeah.
So
And
is
I can't. My bad, Jay. Let me address this. I can't really blame the coaching for this as well because I mean look at the personnel, bro. Like let's be real, bro. When we look at this personnel on paper, y'all really think that this could be a good defense?
perfect, and this is the point I wanted
Yeah.
to get to is the team composition. So I think that it's unfair to Rudy Gobert to just put blame on Rudy Gobert, right?
Oh, it's
like,
not. It's not him.
It's the organization.
The trade.
They messed up in terms of getting putting this group of players together.
Getting Rudy Gobert. Just say getting Rudy Gobert. Don't
yeah,
beat around the bush.
that's probably
They messed up by getting
That's the
getting
worst
Rudy
trade
Gobert.
ever, bro.
That's how they messed up.
Well,
That's a
like
bad
you know,
trade.
like they were saying during the off season, this was something they were going to experiment with. If it works, then good. If it doesn't, they're trading Cat. They're going to get the same haul back that they let go of for Rudy. So they're not really in a bad situation if you look at it. You know, they could hurry up and unload D-Lo because he's probably not going to. They probably won't re-sign him.
These fucking guys. Yeah, address that super chat real quick.
Oh, he
This is
got
why I
you.
say
man.
people.
Wait,
this is why
let's keep talking about this
this is
first.
why
We'll get to
people-
it. We'll get to
This
it.
is
We'll
why
get to it.
people. This is why I say people just have this false
JD,
stigma about
he see
people, bro.
fluent name and he can't focus. Just let him get it off, JD.
He's going.
No. This is just dumb shit. This is just dumb shit. I'm sorry, Jay. I need to address this. This is just dumb shit. I literally said.
No, wait.
I-
Let's
no,
get
no.
to it.
Fuck that
We're gonna
shit.
get off of this.
I need to address this right now because this is just one and done. All right. I said this to Mars for a reason. I said I cannot call this man the best player in the world because at the end of the day, the only time I see him really rise his game like that was in that run in 2 years ago. And Toronto, he played well either. He just gets hurt too much in the playoffs, so I can't discredit him for it. But at the same time, I can't big him up for that as well because I have to wait and see how he rises his game fully healthy. Check fucking mate. Go ahead, Jay. We can continue the conversation.
About Rudy Gobert though, Jay. A lot of people with Rudy, a lot of people blame him for the Jazz, for instance. If the year before that trade happened, when Bojan was averaging 22 points a game, he broke his wrist or something. If he wouldn't have broke his wrist, let's say the Jazz go to the Western Conference Finals. Let's say they even make the finals for
You
let's
said
stretch the
what?
imagination. In the Western Conference, when Bojan before the playoffs, Bojan broke his wrist or something. He was averaging 22. He was there. You know, he was.
What
him
year?
and- him
The
and,
year that they lost to the Clippers.
I think it was that year. I'm not Mars with the. I can't remember exactly.
You
know
know,
what I'm saying?
I messed with the Clippers. I ain't seen no broken wrist when we played them. I mean,
But Bojan wasn't even on the roster. Well, he was on the roster, but he wasn't even suited up. His wrist was broke. Bojan wasn't there. So
who against the Clippers series?
Oh, I don't know exactly what series it was. I'm just saying there was an instance one of these past 3 seasons where Bojan was hurt. He wasn't playing because I believe it was his wrist.
It was the bubble. It was the bubble.
Oh, the bubble year. Oh,
okay, and then the other year, Joe Ingles, you know, gets hurt. So all I'm saying is that people have it's common for them to blame Rudy Gobert when things don't work out correctly. So for them people to blame Rudy for everything that's going on in Minnesota, I think it's unfair. I think Rudy's been the same player he's been. He averaged 17 and 15. Those are good. borderline great numbers for a guy that's an offensive liability to average 17 and 15. I don't think
Gobert
it's
averaged 13 points per game this season.
okay. Well, I'm talking
We
about
don't judge Rudy Gobert by points per game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but I was
saying.
about to ask you too, Mars. Do you know what he's averaging this year? Because I don't think it's fair to blame Rudy for all the deficiencies of his team, not only on this team but even with the Jazz. If you got Donovan Mitchell out there trying to have scoring competitions with Jamal Murray, you know what I'm saying? Are we gonna blame Rudy for that? All right. I don't know. I think Rudy gets the bad end, the short end of the stick, if you will.
I agree. Santa 8 sent super chat. 2021 versus the Hawks. Embiid averaged 30 and 12 on a torn meniscus, and his co-star was scared to look at the rim in the fourth quarter. Shane Howard with the super chat. Hey guys, had a debate with a couple friends on this take. But who's better, AD or prime Dwight Howard? Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. We know it's Howard.
We know it's Dwight. It's Dwight hands down.
It's AD.
We know it's Dwight hands down.
It's AD.
It's Dwight. It's Dwight.
Dwight without a doubt. I don't even gotta think.
Come on, let's not. Now, the only thing AD is better than Dwight is scoring the basketball. And
playing perimeter.
I wouldn't even.
I'll say scoring the basketball.
So it should be the other way around. It should be the other way around. The only thing Dwight is better at is blocking shots.
Yeah, Dwight's a better.
Dwight was moving
better
the
rebounder. He's a better rim protector.
That's it.
And I think he's a better leader than Anthony Davis. Because when the Dwight Howard led team was getting to the goddamn finals and making deep postseason runs every
Dwight
year.
Howard and
Anthony
leader
Davis,
in the same
Anthony
sentence
Davis,
is disgusting.
Dwight Howard was the best player on the team. It doesn't mean he was the leader.
For sure.
Hold on. So y'all saying that in 2009, AD is a better scorer? Why? Because he can shoot threes. You get a ball. You get a ball to Dwight. You get that ball to Dwight in the mid on the mid block anywhere. You're cooked. What are y'all talking about? Was y'all not watching? Was y'all cooked?
he had a baby hook over his left shoulder and he had a drop step.
I don't care what he's doing. I don't care what he's doing. If the ball go in the hole, you scored. I don't care how it got there.
Yeah, but Dwight wasn't a great scorer.
He was scoring at a high clip.
What made Dwight so great is he was athletic. He could catch lobs. And they put so much space around him.
So now he's just a lob threat. I
wasn't finished.
Let him finish. Bobby.
I said what made Dwight so effective offensively was he was athletic and could catch lobs, and they had so much space around him that when you gave him the ball in the post, he was so physically imposing that the doubles he could draw was creating a lot of offense around him. But his individual scoring ability was never that crazy. He wasn't a high volume scorer. It was more so his threat to score that allowed that offense to work. But his scoring individually wasn't that great, especially compared to Anthony Davis, who to me is a better lob threat, a better isolation player, a better outside shooter. I think he's easily a better scorer than Dwight.
He's easily better.
Yeah, he is. He's a better scorer, but I think Dwight Howard is a way. I think he's a better defender than Anthony Davis. I think he's been more proven, like in the playoffs, at leading this team, at being the best player on a championship caliber team to deep postseason runs every year. Anthony Davis never been proven that outside of leaving the New Orleans Pelicans. Leaving New Orleans Pelicans and teaming up with LeBron James as well.
So I would act as if that team Orlando, like, that was a good team, and that was one of the first teams integrating the stretch big lineup with Rashard Loomis. Like they're actually a hand in that Orlando Magic team has a hand in the way that the league is today by introducing and implementing the stretch bigs in their roles. So they were a different team, bro. That team was good.
Bro,
that team was really good.
Also, I have to ask this question because I hear people do it all the time, especially on this show. Radar, you brought up I've just kind of like tapped in and out. You brought up AD going to the Lakers and teaming up with LeBron. What does that have to do with his individual basketball talent?
Well, that's what I'm saying is that Dwight Howard individual basketball talent has been proven in the playoffs as getting further, as him being the best player on the team, leading its team to the finals. Anthony Davis individual talent and production in the playoffs with the New Orleans Pelicans, even though they had to go to State Warriors and it was a tough Western Conference that he didn't get it done until he left and joined with LeBron James.
He was playing great.
Okay,
they would have won if
listen.
DeMarcus wouldn't have got hurt.
He was playing great, but the thing is, he hasn't gotten to the big stages of the finals or the Western Conference Finals. That's a fact. The thing is, when has Anthony Davis even got to Western Conference?
Why isn't Joe Burrow better than Justin Herbert?
Oh, what? Okay, well, I'm not.
But that's different. That's different.
Now it's different, but it's not.
Because football is ultimate team sport. Come on, bro.
Basketball's a team sport too. We can't.
Nah, but
we're not talking about goal. What are we doing? We're not talking about goal.
Yeah, we're not acting as if that Pelicans team was a team that could contend in the fucking finals, bro. Let's not do. There's not been one year.
Yeah, no, because 2015 when they lost to Golden State round 1, Anthony Davis was killing the Warriors.
Killing with Draymond.
He was dominating that series, and they lost in like 5 games.
I'm talking about the year after they came up and ran through Portland when DeMarcus had got hurt.
So 2018 against Golden State again. He killed us again. He killed the Warriors again.
I agree. I agree, but I'm saying that's a bad matchup. We know Draymond can't get with AD. We all.
So you telling me? So you telling me?
Not Draymond. Anthony Davis has never underperformed in the playoffs. Every time he's in the playoffs, he dominates. Like
I wasn't arguing that.
He just doesn't win.
Hold on. So let me ask you something.
The Pelicans just didn't build a championship.
So you telling me this, that the only way you say the only time that when Anthony Davis got into the playoffs as a New Orleans Pelican, he's only lost to the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
Yeah, he made it twice, 15 and 18, and he lost to Golden State both times.
Okay, and he lost to the 15 Warriors.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that Pelicans team, I don't think that team was.
Now I would give him.
And if they had Boogie, I would give him a lot.
2018 is like the only year the Pelicans managed to put a good team around AD, and then Boogie got hurt, and it kind of fell off. And
that
then
team
they ran into Golden State, but AD was still once again dominant.
That team definitely could have beaten the Warriors, in my opinion, if they had Boogie, bro.
I'm not going that far.
You don't have to. That's my.
That Pelicans team was great. That Pelicans team.
My thing is that at that point, DeMarcus was still better than AD. So without
no,
that's got to be some Kings bias. That has to be some Kings bias.
And I think they were top 2 in the league. Don't hold me. Like top 2 big men in the league.
Yeah, they were the top 2.
DeMarcus Cousins was a dog in the Pelicans his first year.
They were both top 2. They were
the top 2 bigs, but AD was number 1.
AD, in my opinion, was just better.
Especially
why y'all say he was better? Tell me why y'all say. Tell me why. Okay, he was better defensively, but tell me why you think Anthony Davis was overall better than DeMarcus Cousins?
Because Anthony Davis was one of the 5 best defenders in basketball.
Because it works for that argument. That's why.
Look, Anthony Davis was one of the 5 best defenders in basketball. For me, he worked better off the ball than DeMarcus Cousins. I think DeMarcus Cousins could shoot the ball better, and I think he was a much better passer than AD. But if I'm looking at overall scoring, I think AD was the more efficient scorer, better off the ball. And for me, I prefer his style of play in terms of fitting with other people and defensively. I mean, it's not even close.
I think
Boogie to me, the better passer and shooter.
The drop-off in offense that Boogie provides compared to AD is not as dramatic as the drop-off defensively that AD provides to Boogie Cousins, which is why I would always side with AD over Boogie at that time.
So now defense matters, dog.
Defense always matters.
It does matter. It does matter to me. It matters. It matters a lot to me.
So let me ask y'all a question.
When you put it that way, AD is a better defender than DeMarcus. I could give him the edge with that. I can.
So let me ask y'all a question. If they had Boogie in that series against the Warriors, do you think they still had? Do you think they had a chance of beating the Warriors? A chance.
Yes.
Yes, Pelicans.
And why you say they'll have a chance? Is it more because of Anthony Davis, or is it more because of Boogie?
It's because of the size, to be honest.
Because of Rajon Rondo.
Golden State weren't a very big team to begin with. They'd often run in the playoffs. They'd often run Draymond and KD at the 4 and 5. If you have 2 guys like AD and Boogie, that's a matchup nightmare for Golden State defensively. I don't know what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to start running JaVale McGee a lot of minutes. I don't think Zaza Pachulia was still there, but they're gonna have to start changing up a lot of their defensive game plans. And because the way AD's been killing Golden State routinely. You add DeMarcus Cousins to that. Drew Holiday was still there. Rondo, obviously, he steps up in the playoffs. I mean, I think that's just a tough team to beat.
They had no answer. They had no answer for them, and that's why you have 2 of the best big men in the league with good perimeter defense as well with Drew Holiday and Rondo. Because Rondo and Drew stepped up to locking up CJ and Dame. So you got
Oh
them.
yeah, Drew
You got
Drew
Did
stripped
them
him
boys
down.
yeah,
dirty.
you got them defensively to challenge the Warriors, but then the Warriors have nothing defensively to challenge AD and Boogie Cousins, who would have had a field day. They would have had a field day on those guys. So in my opinion, it was just a terrible matchup for the Golden State Warriors, which is why I think that team would have won, or the Warriors would have struggled because like
I forgot that team had Nikola Mirotic as well.
they had marriages too. I
Mhm.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I did forget.
Yeah,
about
he got sent down there after Bobby Portis punched on him.
See, this is
in
why I
Chicago,
say
yeah, I forgot
it,
about him.
It's why I say like people like shit on KD for not like for him being on an unbeatable team. Like the Pelicans could have for sure beaten them. The 2018
Do you
Rockets.
think
could have for sure
the
beaten them.
They
Spurs
didn't
can
get beat.
hold on? Do you think the 2017 Spurs can beat the Warriors? Had a chance of beating the Warriors if
I
Kawhi
think they
didn't
had
get
a chance. I think they had a chance. I don't know if I'll jump off this where they could have beat them the way I would jump off like the Pelicans and the Rockets.
Hold on, so
but
you
they
telling me
would
the
have a
you
chance.
so you telling me
I'd have given the Pelicans more of a shot than the Spurs.
Yeah, me too.
Kawhi was killing KD.
But I also think that
Fucking
2017
KD,
Warriors team was just better than the 2018 team for whatever reason. Their defense seemed to be a lot better in 2017. Maybe it's because they felt like they had to prove everyone and they just dominated the postseason.
Oh, so you giving
2018,
you giving the Pelicans a chance because
I think the 2018
17
team was worse than the 2017 team. So
Oh,
that's why
okay,
they had
okay.
more
I see
of a shot.
I see your logic. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Sion Valia. Who is better prime? Oh, sorry. Who is better, prime Kevin Garnett or prime Dirk?
KG.
Come on,
KG.
come
KG.
on.
Come on.
That's
Come on.
easy.
Come on. It's Dirk.
That's
I think
easy.
KG
Come
was
on,
a better.
come
I
on.
think KG was a better basketball player on both ends. Dirk probably was probably a little bit better scorer, but KG defensively was unbelievable. Was a powerhouse too, and y'all got to what KG did, being the best player on the Boston team as well, and anchored the defense too as well, and being a prolific scorer as well. I got to go with KG. KG is one of the greatest. KG is one of the greatest two-way players of all time. One of the greatest two-way players of all time. I like Dirk. I like his shot. He did have that unsteppable 1 foot far away jumper. KG was just better. I think I like KG on both ends because that's what I praise basketball players on both ends of the floor. But go ahead.
Boo.
I do think KG's better, but the one thing I disagree with when you said Dirk's a slightly better scorer, I think Dirk clears KG as a
Significantly.
scorer. Like I don't think that's close at all. But other than that, I do agree with everything you said. I think KG, the better passer, the much better defender, the much better rebounder, in my opinion. But Dirk as a scorer for me, I mean, I've always said I think he's like top 7, top 8 scorer of all time.
Mhm.
Like that's how high of a regard I hold Dirk as a scorer. One of the best shooters of all time as well, but he's just not KG.
Yeah, but do you look at KG as a pretty good, decent scorer? Do you look at him as
KG's a pretty good scorer. The issue I always had with him is, for me, for the amount we talk about KG and like how tough he was and he spoke and he was loud and all that, he played kind of soft. He wasn't very physical inside. He shied away from a lot of contact. He didn't get to the free throw line a lot. He settled for way too many jumpers. So his efficiency was always like not as high as it could have been, because someone his size, his athleticism, his fluidity, he should have been a lot better inside.
There wasn't nothing soft
than he
about
was.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, but
I'm
wasn't
not
nothing
saying
soft
he.
about
I'm not
Kevin
saying he was soft. I'm saying offensively for me,
Offensively,
he
he
didn't play.
soft.
He
There was
didn't play
nothing
as
soft
physically.
about his
For me,
game.
he didn't. For me, he didn't play as physically imposing as he could have.
like you talking about,
Offensively
play like back to the basket, dominating the
always
post. And,
hard.
you know what I'm saying?
Offensively, he reminded me kind of a David Robinson, and David Robinson was also someone who was very physically imposing, but he would play a lot more face up, mid range, like 16 foot, and then that would also limit his efficiency as well. And I think he could have been more physically imposing as a scorer as well.
That's because he had an open up game. That's because if he catch the ball.
Yeah,
and
he
block,
was
open up
extreme. He was
the space
extreme.
for him
No,
to
he
go
was
to work.
extremely skilled.
But KG,
I'm not holding that
was-
against him. I'm saying his efficiency suffered because of how much he would settle for those type of shots when he could have done more to get inside and more to get to the free throw line, and that would have helped him as a scorer, in my opinion.
No, I think KG was cold off, and like what he can do, like he was probably one of the stretch fours. Like this man, made the definition of what a stretch four could be like, where he could score on all 3 levels. I think his mid range in his face-up game was unbelievable as well, and what he can do defensively, I think that overshadows me for Dirk as well. So I think KG offensively was pretty cold. That's why I sat there and said scoring, like we're looking at versatility of scoring as well. He can score from all 3 levels as Dirk too. Maybe Dirk had more of the volume of points, but KG was just as efficient on all 3 levels as well. So it is what it is.
Hey,
What a
you see doing the chat say he, he was 110 pounds, Mars. That's
Bobby,
funny.
Bobby, why is Dirk better than KG?
He's not better than KG. I've never
Only
said
J
that.
only JD believes that.
Oh,
I
it's
would,
only
I would
JD.
never say
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay. The JD, you're all alone.
Dub. Next to Scottie Pippen,
I'm
bro. KG's
alone.
my favorite player of all time.
KG's one of my favorites of all time.
Why you
No,
gonna be a
Everyone knows how I feel about
why your
KG.
favorite player dude who hang around with a freak named Larson, bro?
Why you keep saying Larson?
That's how you say it, Larsa or Larson?
It's Larsa.
I'm
Oh,
not gonna give
Larson.
that no. I'm not gonna give that no energy.
Yo, I'm not doing it. I talk
What
about
what
that.
what
I
what
talk
what
about
what, what other
2019
roofers?
Rockets all the time. I'm not doing it today.
What other roofers say? I ignore ignorance.
You ignoring this?
Hit 44 sent a super chat, said Dwight in '09 had Braun crying in the locker room. John
Facts.
Vaughn with the super chat. Who was the problem in Utah, Rudy or D. Mitch?
Why do either of them have to be the problem?
I don't think either of them were the problem as well. I
I
just
could,
don't.
I'd blame Quinn Snyder before I blamed either of them. And
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'd blame the supporting pieces. Because Quinn Snyder, for me, his defense was just Rudy and Inshallah. Like, it was just funnel everyone towards Rudy and pray that he can stop everyone. And then we talk about, I mean, Bob spoke about that Houston series where he decided to start guarding James Harden with players behind him. I think it was an adjustment. It was weird. It also got figured out after about 2 games, and then he's still stuck with it, which was dumb. So I'm just not. I wasn't a huge fan of Quinn Snyder as a coach. I just don't think they put the necessary defensive pieces around Rudy and Donovan Mitchell. Like, Bogdanovich is a good offensive piece, but he wasn't good defensively. Joe Ingles just wasn't quick enough defensively to be able to do what you would need him to do. Even though I think he's a very cerebral defender. And then
Especially when you play against
Mike Conley was much past his defensive prime. So you just put a bunch of slow-footed, less athletic defensive pieces around Donovan Mitchell and Rudy, and then expected Rudy to carry that defense. Whereas the offense for me was never really the problem. So I can't blame Donovan Mitchell for that. So it's just more so on coaching and roster construction for me.
I'm with you. I agree with you. I look more at the roster construction as well. Giving Rudy Gobert that contract was just a mistake in itself, in my opinion. Because now you put yourself in a position where you can't get those pieces. You can't go get those defensive pieces at all. So handling the contract of Rudy Gobert, not recognizing that you needed more perimeter defense than you had.
So you tell him.
I don't blame the duo of Mitchell and Rudy Gobert for the downfall. Is really the construction of that team. They didn't do a good enough job of constructing around those two guys.
So even when they was the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, right? Y'all still say that it was not constructed, right?
I mean, teams can be constructed for the regular season, then the playoffs, everything changes.
Yeah,
I think
because
they're
got rid of
Rudy Gobert with that construction is going to be a good regular season defense basically by himself because of how impactful rim protection is in the regular season. But then in the postseason, when teams start to adjust and they go small, and you're still relying on Rudy Gobert to start trying to plug up.
So you telling me they did? You telling me that the one thing that the Jazz, because the Jazz had wings, they had what Bogey, they had what Royce O'Neal, they had Joe Ingles. Then Niang played. Then Niang was on that roster as well.
Yeah, but you're not naming many defenders.
No, it's not. I understand it's not too many defenders. I think Royce is a productive defender, wing defender as well.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the thing is that when you pay guys, superstars like Mitch, and play guys like Rudy Gobert, it's really going to hinder the depth on them going out there and getting more wing 3 and D guys that can defend as well and get rebounds and space the floor and stuff like that. That's the reason why Utah didn't have too much productive wing defenders that can cover, because yes, on the perimeter, Utah Jazz was not really great, and they was covering Rudy Gobert at times. We're talking about turns to get to the basket, especially when teams go small. The thing is that that being said, they still was the number 1 team in the Western Conference, and they had a 2-0 lead against the LA Clippers, and they got walked down. That being said, so I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, they didn't surround them with pieces, because even with that being said, they still had a chance of getting to the Western Conference, but they failed to do that because D. Mitch and Rudy is just not. They're not. I don't think they're the guys. Go ahead.
I think that was just Quinn Snyder got out coached by Ty Lue. That's his chess.
Yeah.
Ty Lue is arguably the best coach in the NBA.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Definitely is.
He's one of the.
He's
He's
have
one
you-
of the best.
Ha-
He's
ha-
one of the best.
Have you seen
coaches.
Tyronn Lue be coaching this year? I'm a
I mean,
Clippers
the
fan.
Clippers' offense does not look good this year.
And who is that? Who is that? What part of that is on Tyronn Lue? Stop it, please.
Y'all gonna see. Y'all
He
seen
is
it
not
before. Y'all see it
He is.
again.
He's not even top five, and he's not even a top five coach in the NBA, bro.
What's the top
That's
five?
What you got? What you got? Nick Nurse. It's not in order. Nick Nurse. You got Steve Kerr. What else you got? Fuck. Damn. What's that goddamn? Eric Spoelstra. You got
You got what's the dude name from the Suns again? I forget. Monty Williams.
Oh, Monty Williams. Oh, you got the coach from Cleveland. You got that coach for Cleveland.
JB Bickerstaff.
JB Bickerstaff.
And I like Jack Vaughn as a coach too as well. So and then Ime
I
Kadoka
need to see some more from him.
Yeah, that's fair. But even I would take Ime Kadoka over Tyronn Lue.
Wait, what's his name?
JD, you're an asshole.
What?
What? Name the coaches again. I need to hear the list.
Okay, Tyronn Lue.
Just do the last two.
I mean, not Tyronn Lue. You got Eric Spoelstra. You got what's the guy name? You got the coach from Cleveland. What's that coach for Cleveland name?
JB Bickerstaff.
Okay, JB Bickerstaff. Okay, then you got Ime. I would like
all these coaches are better than Ty Lue. All these coaches are better than Ty Lue.
Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse.
Wait. Ime who?
Ime Kadoka.
Look, this ain't even rated R no more. This is so nasty. This is rated X.
Ime, bro. Y'all know what I mean. Ime, bro. Come on.
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is this is that. Bro,
I apologize for Jay.
Tyronn Lue he ain't no top five coach in the NBA. Bro.
For me, Nick Nurse is like the best coach in the NBA, and for me, it's
for sure.
For me, it's a significant margin for me with Nick Nurse and everyone else. Like he's by far the best coach in the NBA to me.
I agree.
Ime, who stroked you?
So where you got Ime in that prediction? You got Ime number 2, number 3.
He up there.
Ime's up there.
I think for me, he's number 4. For me, it would be Nick Nurse, Steve Kerr, Spo, Ime, Ty Lue. That'd be my top 5, I think.
I put Monty Williams over Tyler.
And all the way at the bottom is Steven Silas.
But back to the point at hand, like looking at Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. If you want to get on Rudy Gobert for his offensive game, I can understand that because he didn't do enough in his offensive game. But just looking at that tandem of Rudy and D Mitch, I mean, I'm looking at the coach and I'm definitely looking at the front office as well. Tyronn Lue did outcoach him in that series. Like he took advantage of Rudy Gobert and their perimeter defense 100%, but the coach did nothing to adjust that. Literally nothing at all.
So what was the adjustment that they had? Because Rudy Gobert couldn't guard the perimeter whatsoever. He's slow out in the perimeter. So what was the adjustment they're gonna do? Just not play him?
Can we address?
No, they kept trying to play. They kept trying to play a zone, even though the zone was getting fucking killed every single time. For some reason, they just kept trying to do the zone.
Yeah, because
they want to know how come y'all not bringing up Pop. Personally, I'm not bringing up Pop.
I genuinely forgot the Spurs existed.
Yeah, he's clear. There's no Pop's up in the Mount Rushmore. We don't got to speak on Pop.
Yeah, I haven't watched enough Spurs games to know how Pop's coaching this season. I'm not gonna lie to you. All time, obviously, he's the best coach in the NBA, but I haven't.
No one can coach that Spurs team, bro.
Yeah, they bad. They're bad, bro.
I've watched about 2 Spurs games, and they both played against Minnesota in both of them. So I don't have much of a gauge on what the Spurs are doing.
Oh, that's why I wanted to ask. Was the Rudy Gobert trade the worst trade of all time?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Nah, that Brooklyn Nets and Boston trade was pretty bad. I'm not gonna hold you.
What you mean with Ben Simmons and them?
No, with all the
Paul
picks,
Pierce,
KG.
Oh, Paul.
That was damn near by far the worst trade I've ever seen, bro.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
It's a bad trade. There was some under the table stuff with that trade, bro. That was definitely some money switch hands in that trade.
Ivica Zubac getting walked out for free. I mean, what the hell was that all about?
Chewbacca Zubats.
Yeah. Chewbacca Zubac get walked around. There's a lot of trades we can look at, bro. as like terrible. But this Rudy Gobert trade was god awful.
So
Yeah, it's been bad.
what's like the grace period for after new kind of construction of a team? What's that grace period like? Where I guess as a general manager, you look at the team and like, is this going to be successful over the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Do you give it time or do you pull the plug?
Well, I
Immediately.
think I test, bro. I mean, every situation is different, so you just got to look at things differently. I think this situation right here is just something you're looking at. Like in my head, at least when I look at it, I don't know how the hell I can make this better. Unless I somehow lower Rudy Gobert's contract so I can get other guys and then try to find a way to get lower Carl Anthony Towns' contract as well. Other than that, I mean, I don't know how to fix this. Having Rudy Gobert, I said this even before the season started. I don't see how a defense can work out with Carl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert on at the same time. I don't see that happening. They don't have a lot of perimeter defenders. It's just not. They don't have anybody to make up on the perimeter for the defense. So it's like, in my head, the way I look at this situation is like, I seriously see no possible solution other than getting rid of either Carl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. I don't see
Well,
anything.
Cat's gonna get traded, but my bad, y'all. The worst trade was when we traded DeMarcus for Buddy Hield. That was the worst trade. Hey, Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
I would have rather traded for my daughter's kindergarten teacher.
That's not bad.
Hold on. So hold on. Y'all telling me that the Wolves will trade
kindergarten teacher
Cat?
bad?
Y'all telling me that the Wolves will trade Cat over
Doing this.
Come on.
over
You can say
Rudy?
yes or no.
We
I
traded.
think,
Cat- they're gonna get that haul back,
because
Cat.
I think Cat has more value than Rudy.
Yeah, they're gonna
So
get
they're
those.
gonna
They're gonna
make
get all
that
those
trade.
picks back and everything.
But for me, if they don't want to blow it up completely, get rid of D'Angelo Russell as the first piece that needs to go, and then try to see if that will make anything different with Cat.
Oh, I think Russell got some value too as well because teams need a point guard that can score from all three levels and finish around the rim and do playmaking.
he can provide value on some teams. So.
Bobby, one
yeah.
for yes, two for no. You could
they
just
gotta
scratch your face with it.
with D'Lo, because he's a free agent. It's like if they re-sign D'Lo, I think that shows that they're not trying to get better. They need to trade him as soon as possible.
I agree.
Oh, drink more water with the super chat. Is Westbrook still the sixth man of the year?
Malik Monk.
I haven't been keeping up with many of the six mans around the league, but Westbrook hasn't been playing as good as people have been saying he has. But
He's not playing better than Malik Monk.
When I watch the Kings, the player who impresses me most is Kevin Hart. That's who. He wasn't doing this in Atlanta, but if Atlanta knew this is what he was capable of, I wouldn't have let him go because he's a very good player. But maybe that's just Mike Brown being one of the best
I was excited when we got Kevin Huerter. I like Kevin Huerter a lot, but he starts though, so he can't.
Yeah, but maybe Malik Monk. I mean, will Jordan Poole qualify?
Nah, I don't think so. I think he should because he ain't been starting for has he been starting for most of the time that he's been
he's been starting since Steph Curry's been out, and then the games Klay Thompson misses he starts, but usually he's off the bench. So I don't know if he's gonna play enough games off the bench to qualify. But if he does, I think it might go to him.
Yeah,
Malcolm Brogdon is one. Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon.
What about Norman Powell?
I'm just not. For me, the LA teams, they're just not playing well enough for me to think that they're gonna have a six man of the year.
Yo, Dub, why you
That's
like that, bro?
Because the reason why I say Norman Powell because the Clippers, I think they're like top three in bench points per game. I think I'm not sure. I got checking on it. I think they're close to leading the NBA and the most points scored on the bench. And Norman Powell at that is averaging 15 on what close to 49% shooting from the field, close to 35% shooting from the 3-point line, and he's giving you about 6 rebounds. So Yeah, I think Norman Powell's up there as well. So
I could see Norman Powell. Norman Powell could start on any team in the NBA.
oh, absolutely.
Well, most
Absolutely.
teams in the NBA. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Norman Powell's a very
he's a
good player.
dog.
Yeah. He just a
Is Victor
turnover.
Oladipo back yet, Doug?
He just a turnover machine. He just a turnover machine.
Victor Oladipo's playing. He's coming off the bench though.
Okay, cool. That's my guy.
I like him. I like him a lot, but.
Drink more water with another super chat. Will Quinn Snyder get another coaching job?
Yeah.
In Vegas, bro. Those temptations.
I guess I took a mean L today, bro. I guess what everyone was saying about that Vegas take.
I think he can get an assistant coaching job, but you talk about head coaching job? Nah.
Yeah, I don't know what team's really gonna take him because people thought Terry Stotts would get another job after he left Portland, and he hasn't had a job in years, which to me is rightfully so because anyone who plays drop coverage on Steph Curry for a whole series doesn't deserve to be coaching in the NBA.
Terry Stout might have done the worst coaching job in the series I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve a job, but I'm just thinking I don't know what team is because Quinn Snyder's not going to really coach rebuilding teams, but I don't know what like contending teams are going to want Quinn Snyder as their coach. So
yeah,
it's like he's kind of like in purgatory.
Now they do it. I don't even know if this rumor was true. I think somebody shut it down. But that coach in Atlanta, he said that he might not, come back.
Nate McMillan?
Nate McMillan. Yeah, they said that he might not come back for the Hawks this season. Maybe there's an opening from there for Quinn Snyder. But
give Trae Young, Mike D'Antoni, and everyone.
What about point guard in the league? What about Mark Jackson? Isn't Mark Jackson trying to? Man,
Mark Jackson's blackball, bro. I thought
Mark Jackson isn't getting it. It's been 8 years. He's not getting it.
Yeah, bro.
You can't hold Church in the facility.
LeBron ruined his chances, bro.
Wait, what did Mark Jackson do?
Bro,
holding Church in the facility. You can't do that. Not today.
Oh yeah, he was doing.
That's why he's blackballed.
Yes.
Come on, remember Tim Tebow was kneeling and praying and stuff, and that got him up out of there.
Tim Tebow was ass.
Yeah,
Tim Tebow was ass.
Yeah.
But number one, I think Mark Jackson.
Let me guess, Kaepernick was ass too.
Not doing this with you, Bobby. But anyways, that's not what I'm saying. That's not where I'm going. It's too different.
Those are way too different.
Anyways,
Tim Tebow's I don't even watch football, and I was like, how has this guy got a job?
I got a little conspiracy with Mark Jackson of, I think the comments he made about LeBron's wife really kind of blackballing him because of that, saying he would knock his wife out the park is wild. My opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Apparently, he said something about the LGBT.
Yeah. The chat.
That could be another one.
That's probably the one, bro. Because there's no way he's getting blackballed from holding.
Yeah, I don't know what he said. I'm just.
No, JD, that was serious too, because he was trying to get the players to come, come to church or whatever. Because it was times he couldn't make it to the church house, so he was just doing it there at the facility, and he was trying to I'm not gonna say he was requiring players, but he was strongly urging players to come to, and they didn't like that. But then
hold on, so y'all,
hold on, God damn, hold on. All right, you got it, bro. That was crazy. I don't know what your mic. Your mic just went crazy.
He was running church leagues. You saying he was running church leagues for real?
Yeah, you're good. It did it on its own. It did a audio spike, but you're good.
Oh yeah.
He did that with the church, and then
y'all think Mark Jackson was wrong for saying that about LeBron? LeBron.
Bro,
did he really say that, Doug?
Bro, if he really said
what
that,
the hell? Hold up, wait. Let me
wait. Why has no one else heard this?
Yeah,
he said it.
I never heard it.
Nobody
said it during the finals.
I never heard it, but that is crazy.
He was drunk, bro. He was drunk. He had to be drinking. I mean, I feel him, but I wouldn't have said that though.
This how y'all know the phones. This how y'all know the phones are listening to us, because as soon as I went on YouTube, that's the first thing that fucking popped up.
No way.
I guarantee.
As a recommended,
as soon as I said Mark, it said Jackson's wife.
Oh, I mean, did you search that recently though? Did you search that?
No,
I did not. You brought this up to me
I didn't look it up.
Last show or something.
I remember it from a long time ago, bro. It doesn't mean I searched it up.
If that really
you
works,
don't believe in that? The Matrix is watching us, bro.
Stop.
Okay, Andrew Dub.
Top D.
Oh god.
Hold on. I'm trying to play
Small
it right
D.
now. Small D and the top D, man.
Hey, Doug.
Oh,
also
boy.
search. How am I gonna catch up with Jeannie Buss?
That I'm talking about. Yeah, I'll hit her too, bro. I mean, I hit her.
What is
like,
going
not
on,
like that,
bro?
but you know what I mean when I say
Yo,
hit,
it's
bro.
not even noon over here. It's after dark. It's crazy.
On the balcony.
He
No.
said she was all city. James again from downtown. And I'd hit out the park. No question.
That is insane.
Hold on. I'm gonna replay.
Yeah, play it again, because start from the top.
Kevin loved the rebound. I'm shocked you downplayed Savannah. He said she was all city. James again from downtown. And I'd hit out the park. No question. With all due respect.
With all due respect, saying one of the most disrespectful things you can say
That
about
is
a man's wife
crazy.
is crazy.
Mark's dumb for that. Why would he say that?
Hold on.
Hold on. Was he lying though?
He
No,
wasn't
hell no.
lying.
Savannah bad.
She bad, bro.
He
Ooh!
said I'd
With
hit
all
it
due
out of the park.
He said and I hit it out
Yeah.
the park. With all due respect.
That was in the playoffs.
On live TV,
That was on the finals.
I think that was in the
on
finals.
live
That was in the
TV,
finals. That was in the finals.
That was the 2018 finals, right?
Yep. 2018
He
finals.
said it in the biggest stage in the NBA.
I
Was
think
that game one?
I
Was
think
that
that was
game
game.
one?
That was game one.
He
That was
had
game
to
one.
have had some cocktails before
In
When
LeBron's
LeBron's casually going off for 50
in LeBron's building.
in LeBron's biggest game,
Yes, Finn.
one
on
of
the
his
balcony.
biggest
Me
games,
and
he
Jeannie
says,
Buss
"I'm
on
gonna
the
knock
balcony.
his wife." That's crazy.
That's bananas. God damn.
That's wild, bro. So that could be a
Mark
good
don't want to coach no more. That's what that is.
but
don't
but
wanna
he
coach.
wants to though. Like
He
he's
wants
Yeah,
to
but
go.
he's
He's
not
not-
going- he's
Not
going
saying
to,
shit like that.
That's-
And LeBron's an agent of the Matrix as well.
oh my god. Can we talk about Klay Thompson?
What's there to talk about?
I would
Mars
like
don't want to talk
Klay
about
Thompson. I
Clay.
would
No,
love
we
to
can
talk
talk.
about
We can
Klay
talk about
Thompson.
Clay. I just don't know what there is to talk about.
I would
Mars,
just
I
like
agree
to-
with you. He's not the same, but I mean, he's not trash, bro. He's
But,
good.
like,
he's still really
I've
good.
never called him trash. I just said he's not Klay Thompson, and he's not the
Yo, I'm
second best
gonna-
player on the team. He's not the third best player on the team. He's like fifth.
Who's
Clay's
fourth?
nasty. Clay's like that.
Jordan.
All right, so this is
Okay.
what chat's saying. This is what chat's saying, that maybe we're misunderstanding the context of this, because they're saying like she played softball or something, she was a pitcher or something, and that the respect of I'd hit her out of the park is that he would hit a home run off her.
Off
are we
of her?
are we buying that? Are we
Off of
buying
her
No,
back.
no.
Off of her back, probably is what he really
Yeah,
meant.
oh my Oh my god.
That's what
Alright.
he really meant, bro.
Chat, you could be right, but it is way funnier if he meant the other way. It's crazy.
I'm gonna have to
I think
go
he-
back.
I
and
re-
listen to
I-
all of them.
All right,
He
Klay
really-
Thompson. Sorry, because I think who said it?
This my thing about Klay Thompson, JD. I'm always gonna have faith in him. Like he's just such an incredible shooter. You got to remember, JD. I've seen this live in person. You remember you know Klay Thompson took the state. Klay Thompson took the state championship away from me in 2008. I've seen this since Klay Thompson was 17 years old. That boy can shoot from anywhere, and he's always gonna be able to do this. Like when you're a shooter like that, bro, you're always gonna be relevant. I think that was disrespectful of you, Mars, to say that you got Jordan Poole over Klay Thompson.
I don't think it's.
I said maybe fourth or fifth. I don't think he's better than Andrew Wiggins or Draymond, but he could be.
Or
him and Jordan
Draymond.
Poole. He's not better than Draymond. And nothing you say is.
Hold on. So you telling me Klay right now is better than Jordan Poole?
I have Jordan Poole.
I still got Klay Klay's number 3. I got him behind Drew.
Nah, I'm not gonna hold you, Jordan Poole. And what
I
he's
ain't gonna lie.
been doing-
Jordan Poole is snapping right now. I ain't
Nah,
gonna lie.
Jordan Poole, what he's been doing in the absence of Steph is like,
Yeah,
I got
he's
him
been
over
stepping
Klay
up.
too, bro.
Yeah, I think
he wildin'.
yeah. I think he's slightly. I think he's better than Klay. But
You
I,
said 29, right, Mars? He been scoring
it's
29 a
it's
game.
29. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So
bro.
Colin Hurd called Klay Thompson the best role player in the NBA right now.
Yep. Role player?
role player. No,
I give him Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges is a better role player than him.
What makes someone a role player?
Just somebody who's not a star, in my opinion, like a all-star caliber player.
somebody that can contribute to the team instead of being the leading scorer or being, the leader vocal point of the offense. Just what it
What's
can do.
Desmond Bain? What's Desmond Bain?
Oh.
Because Desmond Bain is better than Klay Thompson,
I don't think Desmond is a role
But
player.
I think
That's why
Desmond,
I'm
if he's
asking.
on, I think Desmond is a all-star caliber player though.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he
Still
Desmond
a
Bain-
role player.
I think
Doesn't
he's
matter.
a
He's
true.
still a role player.
How y'all like Jordan Poole and not Trae Young? What's the difference?
I like both of them.
Bro,
Nice,
there's no
nice,
way that
nice PJs, Dub.
there is.
Thanks, right?
Yo,
Star Wars. Hold
Chestnuts.
up, bang!
There is no way
fire.
that the chat is saying you're not a role player if you're an
Got
all-star. Are you kidding me? Draymond Green was in the all-star game. Come on.
But I think Draymond Green was.
What are we doing?
I think he was a star. I don't think he was
This is
just
why
a role player.
I don't understand the definitions of these terms.
Yeah, I don't get it either, bro. I just look at like all-star caliber, honestly, bro.
What do
A
y'all
role
think?
player is the player
what-
that is not your like
Like score, like your first or
the
second.
guy
option.
who's carrying the team.
Yeah, he's
Not
not
every
like a-
team carried by someone. So can you just have a team full of role players?
I think
No, there's always the guy on. It doesn't matter. There's always the guy.
Detroit
Go look
Pistons
at at the Houston Rockets. There's
the
a
Detroit
guy on
Pistons-
that team.
Did the
But
Detroit
they're not
Pistons have notable
carrying
role
the team.
players?
There might be a guy, but it's not carrying them.
Nah, Dub. Rashid was him.
Besides, obviously, well, Jalen Green
I
is
like
also carrying
Rasheed.
them because he's the GOAT. But I mean, like for most teams, it's not like every team just has someone carrying them. I just like. So, can a role player be better than someone who's not a role player?
I think so, bro.
Can a role player be better than somebody that's not a role player, like a star player?
Well,
Yeah, Scottie
I don't
Pippen.
know what the terms are because if Klay Thompson's a role player,
All right, here we go.
is
Aaron,
Klay Thompson better than Jalen Green, who isn't a role player?
Aaron gave us a good definition. We'll go off this. A role player is a player that has a supporting role to the main guy.
Everyone has a supporting role to the main guy.
Yeah, Dwayne
They're-
Wade would be
they're
a
role
role
players.
player.
So
Dwayne
every
Wade's
team
a
just
role
has
player.
one guy, and then everyone else is role players.
In some instances, there are
So-
two
so if you
guys
say
like
that-
Jalen Brown and
Hold
a
on, so
Jason
if you
Tatum.
saying that-
You're making
Kobe
this so
Kobe
complicated.
supported Shaq. His main role. in
You
those
are
years was to
pissing me off
support Shaq.
because you are
I'm
making
not
this so
That's the
complicated. You
definition.
know what this.
That's the
You know what a role
definition.
player
I'm
is.
going based on
Stop
what
being
he
so
said.
literal and being weird about it.
Hold on, so
You
let me
know
ask you
what a
something.
role
Kev-
player
Kobe,
is.
Hold on, let me ask y'all
Kobe the
something.
best role player that ever lived.
Kevon Looney.
God
Who
forbid I call
what
Kobe a
big
role
what
player.
big Kevon Looney is better
Every
than?
time you say Cap J, I'm doing this.
Because Kevon Looney is a role player. So what big Kevon Looney is better than? That's not a role player.
Well, it's not every role player isn't better than some, but there are role players that
Yeah, that's
are
what I'm
better.
saying. I don't use that. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Is Drew Holiday a role player?
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, he's not a role player.
So Chris Middleton's a role player too.
No,
Yes.
he's not a role
Chris
player. No,
Middleton.
Y'all saying
not a
role
role
player
player,
like,
bro.
like it's you saying role player like it's a derogatory term. It's just
No, I don't
think
think it's a derogatory term. I'm just trying to understand what it is.
Giannis is the star, and then everybody else is the role player.
No,
Like,
Giannis
no.
is-
So
No,
each team
Giannis
has
is the-
one player and then everyone else a role player.
No, Giannis is the
For the most
superstar
part,
for
yeah.
the team. Giannis
Is
is the
Kyrie
superstar.
a role player?
I mean, this is semantics. Y'all arguing over definitions. I don't
No.
care.
I think
how else are we gonna know if Clay's the best or not if we don't know what the word means?
yes.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying.
stuck.
Hold on. What I'm saying is this: is that Giannis is the superstar for the team. He's the best player on the team as well. Chris Middleton is the star, and I think Drew Holiday the star. But outside of that, guys like Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez,
They're all role
Connaughton, and
players.
all them role players. They contribute to them, right? And yeah, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? There's a
I would
difference
even
between
call
star-
Jalen Brown. I would even call Jalen Brown a role player.
Was
Oh, my goodness.
Ben Wallace a role player?
Yeah,
No.
So did the Pistons have anyone who wasn't a role player?
I would if we got to categorize it, I would say Rasheed. Rasheed was the guy, and then everybody else.
Chauncey
You know
Billups
that
was a
was
role player?
a hell of a role player. Better than most star point guards in the NBA.
Yeah, I think the
I
chat
mean,
mad
if-
because y'all
if-
call Kobe a role.
Bro, the conversation is about to piss me
Oh
off.
yeah.
Let's
go
keep
to piss
going.
me
Let's
off.
keep going.
This Ralph Lauren guy in the chat, he said he'll cook me in a debate calling Kobe a role player. I was the one saying he wasn't.
Y'all mad?
Yeah.
Y'all mad at me? I'm just going off the
Open your
definitions.
ears,
Like,
please. Just open
I mean,
your ears.
Shaq was the man. Shaq was the man. So if I call
But Kobe
role
was
player
not the
for a couple
role.
years, big
I
deal.
don't think he was the
Man,
role
ain't
player.
no disrespect. Role
to
player
for the
is
sake
not a
of the
derogatory term.
For the sake of the question, we'll just go with people who just aren't all-star caliber to answer the question.
No, because all
I
stars
okay,
don't,
are role
look,
players.
I don't think Tyler Hero. I'm sorry. I do not think that Tyler Hero and Desmond Bain are role players. I don't think so.
Nah.
think those are
They
all-star
are
caliber
on
players.
their teams, though.
No, they're
My
not,
thing is
bro. They're not.
Yes,
take it
they
so,
are.
don't take it so serious and personal. I'm not saying that being a role player discredits your ability. I don't care. Like, you can be the best player, whatever. But if the other guy, like, if the guy next to you, if somebody has to be a role player, somebody got to be the star. We can categorize somebody a role player, and it's
But
not
we
that
could
big a
understand. We could understand that there's guys who has an all-star caliber potential. They have to be in the specific role, like a Desmond Bain. There's so many guys on the court that he don't have to play the role of being producing as much. Even then, he's producing at a crazy clip. Tyler Hero, him being the third best player on the team, he's still producing at a great clip. But like, come on, bro.
Yes, Scottie
These
Pippen
are
was a role
all-star
player.
caliber
Yes,
guys.
Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen was a role player.
No, bro. If you were, I say if you were like a first, second, or maybe third option on your team, and you a star at that, I don't think you're a role player, bro.
The
'Cause
way
they run the
the
play-
way I view role players, if you bring one skill, one elite skill, if you only bring one thing to the table, like Duncan Robinson, that's a role player. If you're bringing multiple elite level skills to the table, I don't view you as a role player. I don't think you can do
Then the
multiple
majority of
things
the
at a high
NBA
level.
wouldn't be a role player if with that definition, Mars.
That's
You
fine.
can still be
So-
good at several things, but you're not like
Yeah, I don't think it's got to be elite level.
Hey, for 3 years there, Steph was a role player for 3 years.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
So you're
good.
not- I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like you're not
Yeah.
wrong. Like when he was first starting
when
out.
KD, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when KD came around.
Was Kyle Lowry a role player when he was with DeMar DeRozan?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
'cause-
All right, I mean,
Because
whatever.
he-
We can call it whatever we want. We move on.
Every-
It don't really
Everyone
matter
plays
what
a
you
role.
call it.
Everyone plays a
that's-
role.
Yeah.
Everyone
That's
plays
what I'm
a
saying. Even the star has a role. His role is to be the star. That's a
Was
role.
Manu a role player? Was Manu a role player?
Yes.
Everyone's a role player. Steph
Ah,
Curry's
so then-
role, Steph
so
Curry's
then
role
KD
is to
KD's
be
the best-
offensive focal point. That's his
KD's the
role,
best.
role player.
KD's the best role player in the league.
Because all he does is bring
You guys are
elite level
morons.
No,
scoring.
Kyrie's the role player.
They're both role players.
They're
their
both
roles
role
are to-
players.
both
They
their
all-
roles
they-
are-
they
both
all
their
have a
roles are
role
to
to
lead the
fulfill.
offense, to be
Exactly,
primary
exactly.
You guys are
That's
so
the-
Giannis is
annoying.
the best role player in
Y'all
the
want to
league, bro.
argue so bad.
Bro, I just want you to tell me who the best role player in the NBA is without getting so technical.
Jalen Brown.
God.
I can't answer a question when I don't know the definition.
Oh. Mars, you're a fucking robot. You know that?
If I say,
I'm with you, Mars.
would y'all
I'm
hold
with
on?
you,
Would y'all
Mars.
look at?
I'm
Would
with
y'all
you.
look at Bam Adebayo as a role player?
Yeah,
Y'all
Jimmy's
would
the
have.
star.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, Jimmy's the star. Matter of fact, LeBron's the
So
best role
bonus
player.
is a
AD,
Sabonis a
You
role player?
guys.
Is
Hold on.
Sabonis a role player?
No.
No,
Hold
De'Aaron's
Why
a
is he
role
not a
player.
role player?
Because outside, hold on,
De'Aaron's
outside,
a role player.
hold on.
No,
Outside,
De'Aaron's better than
hold on.
Sabonis.
Outside of being a versatile defender,
Nobody's better than
Hold on,
DeMar.
outside.
Nobody's
Hold on,
better than
hold on.
DeMar.
Outside Bam being a versatile defender, he can switch 1 through 5, and he's a great defender. What else does he bring?
He's a good scorer.
Dribble
When-
handoffs.
Dribble
Nah,
handoff. That's it.
No, it's not just dribble hands. He's a good when he actually is tuned into scoring. He's actually a pretty good scorer. Not crazy scorer, but he's a pretty good scorer. in
He's
the league.
okay, but he's too inconsistent, bro. That's the thing for me. Like Bam is too inconsistent. Like if we're looking at his offense against his package post game, he really don't have a post game. He's an inconsistent finisher around the rim. He's good at doing dribble handoffs and passing at times, but he's not aggressive. His scoring is a little bit inconsistent as well. So I think.
But that's more to that's more to, in my personal opinion, him. For some reason, I don't get him. He pisses me off too. Like for some reason, it's like sometimes he wants to be one of those guys, but then some games he just
He
doesn't.
defers. So
Yeah, he defers
like-
a lot. And I feel you on that. That's not really that's not inconsistent in his play. That's more inconsistent in the role that he's trying to fulfill. So me personally, I know what Bam's capable of. I know that when he does have it on, he has that aggressive mindset. He's a 20 and 10 guy. Like he's a 20 and 10 guy right now, even with those inconsistencies. So me and my personal opinion, Bam Adebayo, an elite defender.
is
on
he a
top of
role
that, an
player?
above average scorer,
Is he a
bro.
role player?
I'm
bro?
about to answer above average scorer, and I think he's a good passer as well. I wouldn't classify him as a role player at all. I think he's an all-star caliber player.
Zero just vibing said it depends on what the team scheme is. Stockton and Malone were the key elements. Everyone else fills a role. I don't know why it's so hard for you guys to recognize what a role player is and is not. I didn't think it would be this difficult. Everyone obviously
think
plays a
Bam
role, but
player,
there's
bro.
a difference between.
He's mid offensively to me, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
He's above
Who's
average.
who's mid offensively? Bam.
Bam. He's
Let's
mid.
move on.
He's above
Yeah,
average.
I think he's taking the jump this season.
Yeah, he has taken.
He took a
His,
little.
his,
The
his
thing,
mid-range game is taking a little bit of a jump.
if you relied on Ben to be your leading story, I mean, it screams net but mid. That's why I called the Miami Heat mid Emmy. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, what is going on? My bad. Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Mid-Emmy's hilarious. I'm a Heat fan, just so you know.
You a Heat fan? Yeah,
I'm a Heat fan. That's nasty.
MC
Screams nothing but big.
Robinson. I just saw the video in context. The commentator we're talking about, Savannah being a former softball player. There's a video with the context behind it. Thank you.
Stop trying to give us context,
That's no
dude.
fun,
Yeah,
bro.
boo.
You know context.
Boo.
Make context matter again, but that's only when we're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99% of the time we
Let
can
us-
make context matter, but this time just
Let
it
us
go.
spread misinfo, bro. Let us spread misinfo. Hit 44 Mars. Why is Chelsea trying to hijack our targets? COYG.
Because Chelsea are trash.
Styles Black sent a super chat. Go to guys, and everyone else is a role player. Go to guys, everyone else is a role player.
I like that one.
So Hero's a role player. Hero's a star. Then he's not a role player. Jimmy, Bam, Drew, Giannis, Chris. Who else?
So
Pascal.
We're not about to do this, bro.
So Larry
Anthony
Markkinen
Simons.
went from a role player to an
Anthony,
NBA.
what? Simons?
Anthony
Sinums?
Anthony Simons.
Sinums.
Oh man, I hate this.
So over this, bro. I feel like now is a great time to shout out the YouTube All-Star members because why not? Shout out to Dorian Clayton, Richie Rich TV, Tyson Thomas, Victor Moreno, Richard Ayala, Ray Sanders, the second 404 not found, Brandon
El Host for real.
Ozoria,
Drop the El Host
David
in the chat, man.
Mujinia, Odd Malik, iOS Inc., Gerald Coaxum, T-Wit, 2X, Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Sosa Belton, SSJ, Gaby, Loaded, Marlon, Graham Hodges, Kelvy, MC Robinson, 40KOW, Alejandro Rodriguez, KW, Capital Kev, James Goz, 123, Jeffrey Williams, the second, Jolty, King J. Gideon, Zeke Noel, Rio Maxos, and Elder Rufus.
We over here trying to get to the bases, get to the foundation of
No,
basketball.
bro, it's just
and
it's
you're
ne-
trying to kill
it's
an
never
argument.
gonna happen, bro.
Trying to
Because
kill
you
an argument.
bozos can't
No, we're
recognize
trying-
what a role player
We're
is
trying to
and what
figure
a
this
role
out.
player is
We're
not.
trying to
You guys
figure
will
this
never
out.
figure it out.
We're trying though. We're
It's-
trying. That's what
no.
we're up here for. To try.
Bro, you
We're
guys
trying.
are the
Was Jalen
you
Brunson
are
a
the
role
2
player
plus
last year?
2 equals 5 people, bro.
Was
No.
Jalen Brunson-
Yes.
was
No, we're
Jalen
not.
Brunson a role
You're
player
the
last year?
2 plus 2 equals 5
Jay,
people.
don't lie. Don't lie right now.
1000%.
Wait, Jay. How dare you? How dare you? We're trying to have an ethical conversation, trying to figure out
Ethical conversation.
what is a role player, and you're
You
trying
should
to
have said an
diminish
intellectual conversation.
that. Ethical, intellectual. I like ethical because I felt like fucking using it.
No, I think it's very, very easy to
That's
define
it's
what is
hard.
a
That's electric.
what is a
That's
star
electric.
player on the team and what is a role player, bro. I think we
Everyone's
over
mix the
a
words,
role
though.
Drop
player.
an L host in the chat, man.
Everyone's a role player.
L white boy. Why are we getting
Come on.
it's crazy?
Hey, Mars, what was that word you
God.
came up with earlier?
Dramatically.
Dramatically. And then Dub, what you got now? Intellectual.
Ethical. I said ethical.
Yeah,
Well, I
ethical.
said it.
Let's mix ethical and intellectual. Intellectual.
Electrical. Electrical. Oh my god, I can't even say that shit.
Intellectual. I like that.
L racism.
If this panel, I like this question. If this
Hell,
panel
what,
was a lineup, what's y'all's role? I like this question actually. JD's the host. So we gotta give him that. Even though he's an L host, he's a host. Or L white boy. L to racism, 100%.
L racism.
So now, where's the other roles, bro? Who got? What's the roles?
I'm the small forward.
Small forward.
Yeah, I'm the small forward. You know
So
what
you
I'm
a
saying?
role player,
Nah, I'm not no role player. I'm a star. I'm a star, bro.
Bobby?
I'm confused. We're talking about what would our basketball positions be?
No.
what's your-
What is your
what's
role
your-
on the
Oh.
panel?
Are you
on
a
the
role
panel, on the
player?
panel?
Are you a role player? Or you a star?
I'm a role player for sure.
Mars.
I'm just a foreign token.
So you're Giannis. Okay, cool.
The foreign token.
So we got Mookie's a star. I'll be the role player. Jay's the coach, and then Mars is Giannis. Bismack Biombo.
Man, get out of here, bro.
All right, so what team are we right now? So we're the what
We
you
could
call
be
it? We're
we
the
could be the
Bucks.
we're the Bucks with Eric Bledsoe.
With Eric Bledsoe. Damn.
I mean, there's only
Let's go back. I want to be Jabari Parker.
Oh man. I mean, Jay could be Mike Budahauser, who's an L coach, so then an L coach and an L host.
I'm
what's
PJ
his-
Carlissimo is what Leaf Tiggy said.
Mookie's mid
Oh,
Middleton.
you don't want to play me 1-on-1, bro. I'll make you hang your boots up, dog.
I'm gonna be Miami. I'm gonna be mid bio mid and bio.
Miami. Mid
Yeah.
Adebayo.
Yeah.
Mid-bio.
Midabayo.
Mid bio.
Yeah.
Hey, we really got to start doing that, Jay. When cats in the chat want to like play us, we got to figure out a way to facilitate that. If it's reasonable distance and stuff like that.
Yeah, eventually for sure. That would be fun to just have people pull up to a park or something, or a gym that's open and be able to
What's
play
good,
people. It'd be
Ticket?
fun. That
I
would
want
be
it because
fun.
I want it with everybody. But I got me and Ron got to get at Shaq and Dale first.
I'm only good in a 5-on-5 full court setting. I can't do anything
Mars.
else.
I think we would do a tremendous job in like emceeing this whole thing. Like just being the host for the whole little park takeover for him. We would do an amazing job.
I mean, well, yeah, because all I can do is just judge how other people play basketball and not do it myself. So
I will say nobody's stopping this flamethrower.
Just throw flames.
Don't flames. All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here, man. Dub, any final words?
Salute to y'all. I'll be Jose Alvarado or Kyle Kuzma with a beard.
Fire.
Whoever y'all want me to be. But I guess I am never going to be a star. I cannot live up to those aspirations, even though I have those aspirations for myself. I will try and be better. Salute to y'all. Y'all be easy.
Salute. Go ahead.
Mars.
trade James Wiseman.
Radar.
Fire Tyronn Lue. And I see y'all.
Whoa.
And I see y'all gridiron, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Real talk.
Whoa.
Appreciate you tapping in with us today, Radar. Bob.
Man, y'all know, make sure y'all drink some water, read a book. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself and love yourself. Back. Also, him, y'all make sure y'all hit me up if y'all really want to play. I'm on IG, big_ox_Bob. We can line up anything. I got, like me and Ron taking all 2-on-2 fades. Whatever y'all want to do, we can definitely put that on camera. I'm making cats hang their boots up still to this day.
Hey, my bad, Jake, since I forgot. Bobby loves doing this, ending on a nice little quote. And I just want the overall message today to be, don't let your girl hang around hoes.
Oh, my God. On that note.
If you don't remember anything from the day, you remember that.
Wait, chat wants us to get Rated R's top 10. Rated R, have you been on Players'
Let's
Choice
do that,
before?
Rated R. We need to hear this.
Why? What my top?
We gotta get your top 10 then. I thought he's been on a show that I wasn't.
No, I've been on Gridiron. Top 10 is I'm gonna go with Jordan, Kareem, Duncan, Magic. You can put LeBron in there. You could put Kobe. No, you could put LeBron. You could put Larry Bird. You could put Kobe. You could put Shaq. You could put Hakeem. What's that? 9? That's 9 right there. And then I would put. Damn, who I'm forgetting.
Well, still.
I'll put Bill Russell in there, bro.
This guy told me that you told me that.
I'll put Bill Russell number 10, right at number 10, because I don't respect that. I don't respect that era that he played in. But
You told me you said Wilt was better, and now he has Bill. Okay.
Oh, yeah, but I think Wilt, he got the championships, and saying he's greater, but I think Wilt is a better basketball player.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's why. But I do think Wilt Chamberlain is a better basketball player than Bill. But the reason why I got Bill over, Wilt is because Bill, he got the championship and got the accolades of Wilt. So it is what it is.
All right. Okay. Dope. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Go check out the YouTube memberships. Try and get in that private Discord. Salute to y'all. Have a great rest of your week.
Stop
man.
hating. That's the best top 10, nigga. Stop hating, bro.
We'll
Yeah,
catch you
we-
next episode.
Hey,
Got it.
30